now 9 a.m. I'm going to call the Cordele City Commission meeting for May 5th to order. At this time, I'm going to ask for an invocation. Bobby Ross from 3rd Street Baptist Church.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you so much for this time to gather, Lord. I just trust that you're here in our midst. Lord, I pray that you would give guidance to our council, Lord, to our commissioners, Lord. I pray that you would use them, Lord, that they would think of you and the qualities that you called us to live out, Lord, as they make decisions. I pray that you would give them the wisdom that they need to lead this city, that this city would prosper, but more importantly, Lord, that our city would become more unified. Lord, we're so thankful for every family that is represented within our city. And Lord, we just pray your blessings upon them. And Lord, we just pray that you would protect our city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Mayor Pro Tem, could you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Mayor, can I interject right here, just for a second?
Yes, go ahead.
I make a motion that we do away with roll call. I don't see a need in it. We all know we're in.
It's protocol, we need to keep it, sir. Thank you.
That was just my
Well, you got a motion,
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to do away with the roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3, so motion approved. We'll do that at the
Mayor.
next meeting, but it's on.
I probably need to look at your code and see what it says. There might be an ordinance that says you're gonna do that, in which case I'll fix that and bring it back to you. But I don't know
Okay.
that.
Okay, we'll proceed with it today. It's on the agenda.
Commissioner, the enemies up here, you know that. When you come in, making changes like that, and you haven't investigated to see what's the protocol, then you should bring it, after you reviewed it, did you look at the bylaws, the charter, see what we got? Okay, you see what I'm saying? Don't be too impulsive.
Commissioner Joseph Wright.
Here.
Commissioner Bernard Finn.
Here.
Commissioner George Singletary.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Vestavia Shepherd.
Present.
Mayor J. Wesley Raymond.
Here. Thank you. City Attorney, can you look into that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, approval for today's agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to open up for discussion on the agenda, please.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, before any discussion, we need to raise a procedural ethics concern for this record before we proceed on item number 9.
okay, the discussion.
At the prior, yes, sir, at the prior meeting, this zoning request from R12 to R4 failed due to the lack of the required motions. As such, no action was taken by the body. The body did not advance it. Okay, since that time, it's my understanding that officials who previously recused themselves due to proximity and conflict of interest have had involvement in placing the item back on the agenda. I have serious questions about that. While I recognize the agenda setting can be administrative in nature, I must state clearly for the record, any involvement, direct or indirect, by a disqualified official in reintroducing, advancing, or influencing this matter raises serious due process concerns. This is particularly critical in a quasi-judicial zoning matter where fairness, impartiality, and appearance of impartiality are legally required, and also in legislative. Before proceeding, I respectfully request that any commissioner or the mayor or anyone else sitting on the board with a proximity or conflict of interest formally disclose that conflict again for the record, and that those individuals affirm on the record that they have not participated in any manner in reintroducing, placing, or influencing this item, that they fully recuse from any discussion, deliberation, or vote on this matter, that the city attorney provide immediate guidance on whether any involvement by recused officials and re-agendizing is a hard word for me, of this item affects the validity, fairness, or legal defensibility of proceeding. Proceeding without this clarification may compromise the procedural integrity of this hearing, create due process deficiencies, expose the city to legal challenge in Superior Court, and undermine the defensibility of any action taken today. Until these concerns are addressed on record, I have serious reservations about proceeding with a matter that may be procedurally compromised. With that being said, I would like us to either move this item up, it's gonna be at their discretion, okay, and that you and if whoever it is, they step back from the dais until this proceeding is done. And to do that, we probably need to expedite up to the front, so then we can fall back in and redo the commission meeting.
So are you wanting to remove this agenda item, or are you wanting to
No,
move
no,
it to?
no, I'm not wanting to remove it, I'm just putting this in there for the record, okay? That way we protect ourselves, all right? Now, I think the item should be moved up so the speakers can come in and do their presentations, okay? But I also think that at that time, before you call for it, if you recuse yourself, as last time you done, that you step back and allow the mayor pro tem to proceed with it, and then we go forward with it. I'm just trying to protect the city, sir.
Ask Mr. Coleman, is there, I understand that myself
Yes, sir.
and the mayor can't, we have property adjoins this particular issue on item 9. And I understand that we can't vote in this issue. But is this to say that as a citizen or anything else that I have no say whatsoever, that I'm to be quiet and never speak of it, and I can't even talk about it in my house or whatever? I mean, what the hell?
All right. Once you put it so eloquently, I think that they are essentially right. You had a conflict of interest, you're supposed to retire from it. And you announced last time that you did for two reasons, because of proximity to your property, and you're also accepted a campaign contribution, which is normal, typical. We all have done that.
Right.
So I think voting for it,
Yeah.
for the rezoning, might be a conflict, because that would enhance
Absolutely.
your property. On the other hand, the mayor's in a kind of a different position. There's no contribution there. And if the mayor voted against his own interests, the conflict laws are designed so that a council person, a commissioner, doesn't enhance their own position, financial or otherwise, right? So if you vote against that, it'd be something for him to determine. I don't think that'd be a conflict. So if he voted in the opposite way of what his financial benefit would be, I doubt the mayor would have a conflict in that case. Okay?
Okay.
So, question, to protect the mayor, should he recuse himself at this time, or should he
Well,
continue on?
I think he probably depends on how he feels about the project, you know.
Okay.
Another thing that the secretary said, I don't remember, we had a hearing on this thing already. That was the opportunity for the public to comment. The way the zoning law, especially those when you have a country, you're not supposed to allow any further public comment. The discussion is just among the commissioners at this point. Hearing had already occurred. We're going to talk about that a little bit, because I've got something on the agenda about the procedures. But the object of the Zoning Procedures Act and the hearing procedure is to give everybody a fair chance. If there was no notice of a hearing and you allowed people to talk, the people on the other side wouldn't get that same chance, you see. So all the public comment needs to be, on zoning matters, need to be done in the context and the format of a hearing is duly advertised and called. So I wouldn't allow any further public discussion about it, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure that doesn't make me the most popular person in the room, but
Second most popular.
okay, but I wouldn't allow any discussion. Except among the commissioners themselves.
Okay, those that have heard the city attorney's advice that have signed up for the speakers, y'all understand everything that he just stated? Yes and no? Okay. All right, so everybody heard the discussion right here. Do y'all want to proceed with the agenda as is, or do y'all want to amend it?
I would say go with the attorney's advice.
Well, I'm confused as whether or not I can even say anything about the
You
agenda.
can't.
Can I say?
I doubt you can.
Okay, I'm just
I
making
would-
sure.
You can't.
Okay. Is there a motion to proceed with the agenda as written, or is there to amend it?
Proceed with it.
Proceed?
Proceed with it.
Okay. All right. We have a motion to approve today's agenda for May the 5th as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Motion approved for today's agenda. Approval of regular minute meetings for April the 21st. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay, motion. And a second to approve the regular minute meetings from April the 21st. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved.
Mr. Mayor, one thing we didn't address, personally, I wouldn't like for these people to be sitting through all these meetings, okay? The reports and everything, could we entertain the thought to amend the agenda to move it up so we can go ahead and have the discussion and allow the speakers?
Well, it'll be on there. It'll be what they choose to do, because they're about to have a choice right now, because we're going to proceed with the agenda as it was written.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any speaker appearances?
Yes, we have 3 on agenda item number 9.
Okay. But there's no speaker appearances, speakers for a specific agenda item.
It is, that's a, oh, no.
No speakers,
Okay, okay.
but, yeah. Now, speakers on specific agenda items? Yeah, there's 3.
There's 3 of them.
Okay.
Mr. Ben Mallory, Mr. Joe Owens, and Mr. Larry Purtis on agenda item number 9.
Okay. Okay, commissioners, y'all heard the city attorney's advice. We have this on the agenda and we approved it, but it is by his recommendation. We have no further public comment on this item.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a motion to proceed to allow these speakers to speak, or is there a motion to not allow them to speak?
So move,
Which one?
to let them speak.
To let them speak. Okay, we got a motion?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll proceed. Okay, who's the first one?
Mr. Ben Mallory.
We doing that now?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ben Mallory. I've been a resident of Cordele for 33 years at the same address in the city limits for the last 31. Thank you for the opportunity to address this board. I believe that allowing this project to advance is counterproductive to our city on several levels. Firstly, it directly contradicts the Joint Comprehensive Plan adopted by the Cordele City Commission July 16, 2024, a plan that took considerable time and resources to develop and has been in place less than 24 months. Secondly, it has the potential to create a significant traffic flow problem. Thirdly, rental property is presently available in the area. Mr. Rainey, Ms. Shepherd were stakeholders and put an incredible amount of time and service into creating this document. Another person here today, Mr. Ricky Smart, was also a stakeholder on that panel. The plan references page 16 that a survey was completed and the results included in the plan. The survey results on page 41 of this document indicate that 74% of respondents indicated that they would like the development of more single-family homes. Only 19% indicated that the city should develop more apartments. Some of the housing goals listed on page 21 of this document is to maintain the stability of established residential areas, prevent unwanted land uses, and promote sustainable home ownership. I do not believe that renting an apartment promotes sustainable home ownership. I do not believe that an apartment complex with occupants constantly moving in and out maintains the stability of the established residential area. Page 22 of this document lists as one of the goals to provide good traffic flow through the city. There's no way to exit this property onto any street that will allow traffic to flow smoothly. Every direction, with the exception of the traffic light at 16th and Greer, including each and every side street, lands at a stop sign. Chris County High School sells between 200 and 250 parking decals each year. Added to that's the number of vehicles of parents that drive their children to school. The number of school buses entering and exiting Chris County High School has got to be factored into the traffic plan. The traffic generated from the neighborhood directly to the south of 24th Avenue will add to the chaos. To add fuel to the already insurmountable fire, to include traffic traveling to the Home Depot, Hardee's, McDonald's, Destiny Fitness each and every morning. Can we be certain that the increased traffic flow will not adversely affect these businesses? I do not believe that the geographic area and the condition of these streets can handle this kind of traffic, nor do I believe that the citizens should be responsible for getting these roads capable of this kind of traffic. The location with 120 front doors can potentially end up with an additional 240 vehicles in an already congested area, all trying to get to work and school at about the same time, all while dodging school children, other vehicles, school buses, garbage trucks, etc. The hysteria is going to take place every day, twice a day. Pecan Terrace, Whisperwood, and Heritage Oaks are all within a half mile of this property, should our citizens decide that's an opportunity they would like. In summation, this apartment complex goes against the exact document that this very body invested much time and money to create. I don't believe it's in the best interest of our city to abandon a 5-year plan that's only been in place for 22 months and has not yet had time to be implemented. I believe that this endeavor will create a huge traffic problem for our city. I believe that there are apartments in close proximity to meet the needs. I believe that our city will be better served with the development of single-family homes. You asked, the people overwhelmingly answered. Almost 75% of respondents indicated they wanted single-family homes. If you're not going to listen to them and respect their input, then why ask the question? My thought is to follow the plan previously developed and work to fulfill the goals already in place. Thank you.
Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Boone, Commissioner?
No, sir. We're expressed.
Okay. Okay, next.
Mr. Joel Owens.
First of all, I want to say that I have tremendous respect for the prior speaker. I've known him a long time. He's a very good person. I don't agree with anything he just said. The last thing Cordele has is a traffic problem. What Cordele has is a growth problem. As many of you may know that know me, I know several of you very well. I own Landbridge Realty here in Chris County. We sold $61 million in real estate here last year, which was double the previous record of any firm ever in the history of this county. I, more than anybody in this room, know real estate in this county, what's going on with what we need to do, only in my opinion. We have a tremendous rental shortage in Cordele. I own 25 rental houses in Cordele. Every time we have one come up for rent, we'll have 30 calls in one day. We have people calling my office constantly, all day, every day, wanting rental property, and there's nowhere for them to rent. I'm on the UIDC committee for the development committee for Chris County, only because I want to see this county do better. I want to live here the rest of my life. I'm going to live here the rest of my life. I've done many things out at the lake to bring in businesses, to increase productivity of businesses that are there. I'm currently switching my mode to Cordele because I feel like Cordele needs all the help we can get. I feel like everybody on this board up here is giving of their time. I respect tremendously what you're doing in serving your community. Most people are not willing to do that. I plan on bringing a grant writer into the city of Cordele in the next few weeks with tremendous experience. That's going to be able to get us a lot of money. I'm working on right now bringing several businesses out to the lake and into Cordele. This apartment complex is not Section 8. It's not projects. It's not. And there's a need for things like that in every community, a well-deserved need. This is an extremely nice apartment complex that Mr. Patel over here is planning on spending on the apartment complex and the commercial businesses along Greer Street about $20 million. People, everybody in this room and everybody in Cordele all the time complains about, we don't have growth. Why don't we have businesses? Why don't we have that? Because the number one thing, if you understand the way business works and the way town growth works, is you've got to have housing. And this isn't crappy housing. This is nice housing. Just like Mr. Wright's son here, when he moved into town just a few weeks ago, who's an attorney, he couldn't find anywhere to rent. He called me. Oh, his whole family called me. Everybody called. He couldn't find anywhere to rent because there was nowhere to rent. When we try to recruit businesses to come into Cordele, the first thing they ask is about housing and availability. When this data center, if it comes in, they're going to bring in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. What's happening right now is even people getting jobs in Cordele at the hospital or at any of our local businesses, there's nowhere to rent. They're commuting from Perry and Warner Robins and all these different towns around us, having to commute to Cordele and go back to Perry or Warner Robins and spend their money. We need this project. This is not some bad apartment complex that 2 or 3 years from now you're going to have a lot of people living there that you don't want living there. It's going to be working class people that make everybody that's going to be able to afford these apartments are going to be working class people with good jobs. And we need this type of facility for the growth that we want to have in our community. So that's about all I had to say. I could talk on it for 45 minutes or so, but I hope that all of you will consider doing this. It is very important. If we want Cordele to be different than it is right now, and it's a great town, we've got a lot of good qualities and a lot of good things and a lot of good people that live here. But having enough housing is so important, so important. The UIDC, we were all high-fiving each other a few weeks ago when I announced that Mr. Patel had bought this property and what he was going to do. I mean, it was Chip Wells, who is in Kansas today. He is all about this project. Greg Turton, who's a great friend of ours who does a lot for this community, he is all about this project. He wants it to happen. Stephen Gautney right there, that I don't know if y'all going to let him speak. I hope y'all can make some type of, he came in a minute late and didn't get to fill out a form, but he's the CEO of the hospital. He desperately wants this to happen. Their doctors, they can't recruit doctors and nurses because there's nowhere for them to live. There's no transitional living here in Cordele at all. And so it is a big problem. I understand citizens' concerns about it, but this is a very, very, very nice complex. And the last thing we have here in Cordele is a traffic problem. We have a growth problem. We want businesses to come in here. We want Cordele to grow and prosper for all of us. And I commit to all of you to do everything that I can do over the next several years to bring in business here and do anything possible that I can to help Cordele be better. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
You got a question? Okay.
Mr. Owens, respectfully, where do you live, sir?
I live in Lake Blackshear.
And how many apartment dwellings do you have in your area?
We don't have any apartment dwellings in our area because that's not where that community has. Lake Blackshear is more of a retirement type community, and people live there to retire. We have, because of the way we advertise, we've got a lot of people moving in from Florida, from Tennessee, from the Carolinas. We market all over the nation to get a lot of people moving in there. What we would need in Cordele, though, is people that work for a living and bring in businesses and industry here so we can give them somewhere to live.
I'm not being negative or objective of your plans. My only concern is the location of these units in a residential area that they don't want to influx them. You say yours is a retirement area. They want to retire to where they're living to in their homes where they've been 30, 40, 50 years.
Well, my opinion of that is,
Let me.
sure, I'm sorry. You're the only reason I'm getting to speak is you agreed to let us speak a minute ago, so I appreciate that.
Okay. My concern is that I have received 7 or 8 calls from the people living over there. I received one professional call, and that was yesterday afternoon, about the area. Now, my concern that Mr. Wright or Mr. Rain have no input, so the residents are going to go to Mr. Finn, Mr. Singletary, or myself for their concern. And I pledge to be the best commissioner I can for all the citizens of Cordele. And I must listen to these people. And with the upcoming 581 bill, I'm concerned, Mr. City Manager and Sir, how will this benefit the city and the citizens over there? My concern is those citizens. I'm going to give you a scenario, and I know I should know this. Years ago, these gentlemen went up in November raining. They wanted to put mobile homes in my neighborhood. I got the only decent house in the neighborhood, to tell you the truth. And it hurt my heart. When Michael came through, one of them declared like there's somebody stripping everything. It's like a war zone over there now. I don't want these people to suffer what I've gone through personally. So I empathize with the residents. See, first of all, you got to come from the resident to understand where they're coming from. They got one spokesman here, but you know, I received 7, 8 calls. Have you received any, Mr. Finn or Mr. Secretary? You see what I'm saying? We're catching it. And I want to be fair to the resident as well as Mr. Patel wished. When Mr. Patel bought that land, it was zone R12. Am I right? I want industry to come in, don't get me wrong, but can we bring it in for, in the area, coming into the community, not just here, influencing on my own, encroaching on what people feel like they're home. I mean, I understand them. I don't want a trailer park in my neighborhood, no sir. You don't want a trailer park in your neighborhood, do you?
No, ma'am, this
All right,
is far from that.
They don't want
Can I address what you said?
if they want single, they ask for single home. They're not objecting to the homes over there. I didn't hear that in his presentation. He said single home, not apartment dwelling with multiple levels.
Can I address that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. The whole eastern side of the property that runs along Greer Street, at my advice, he has put commercial properties that's facing commercial properties. The apartments on the west side of the properties are right by existing apartments. And this is not a mobile home complex. These, and I wasn't going to say this earlier, but I'll say it now. These apartments are going to rent for $1,200 to $1,500 a piece. Most of the houses in that area wouldn't rent for $1,200 to $1,500 a piece. I own rental houses in Cordele. This is going to be very, 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 very nice living facilities. They're going to have pickleball courts and private pools. It's like complexes you see in Atlanta. He's willing to spend $20 million in our communities, guys. We need this. And I don't have a dog in this hunt. And that's the old Southern saying. This doesn't affect me at all. None. But I'm committed to help Cordele. I'm trying to help Cordele grow. I want to do everything I can to help it grow. This isn't a trailer park. And there's nothing against trailer parks. I own a few of those too. And we're not trying to move in a trailer park in that section of town, but it's the perfect location for it. Commercials facing commercial, apartments are right by apartments that are already there, and it'll rent tremendously because it's right in the middle of the heart of our city. And we can get industry to come in to Cordele, and that's what we want. That's what we've all got to work for. If we want Cordele to get better, then we've got to bring businesses in here. And on the UIDC board that I'm on, we are strapped. If we can't get a place for people to live, then we can't bring in businesses. It's kind of it's a catch-22 type situation that we're in, and we want to help the community. We want this to happen. It needs to happen. And again, I'm not benefiting from this at all, but I benefit from it because I do care about Cordele. And there's been a lot of mistakes made in the past that you guys didn't have anything to do with. But I'm just trying to help do my small part to make things better. And I don't think these apartment complexes are going to hurt one single person except to make our community better and to help it grow.
While he is standing, sir, and I'm going to finish my comments. As Mr. Mallory stated, we signed for the planning zone for 5 years. Not the entire board, but Mr. Ray and I was sitting on that board at that time. And if we're going to renew our word to the people, how do you think that will make me feel? That I made a pledge to, I didn't promise, but I make pledges. And I try to stick by my word. I understand the last time you all came, I got a little upset a little bit because we went from 100 to 134, and I couldn't grasp what we were saying at this time. So I went back and I read some more. And I understand that we need better housing in Cordele. I understand that we need more housing in Cordele, but I understand that my people can't pay for the housing in Cordele either. The income level in Cordele is not up to Perry or Warner Robins in Atlanta. They're making the bucks up there, but they charge the same amount of rent down here.
Yeah.
These people can't afford $1,400, $1,600 in Cordele, unless they do work for.
But we're trying to bring businesses here with people that can afford it, that can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we will.
Okay.
But we've got to have somewhere for them to live.
Commissioners, anybody else have anything? Okay.
Yes, I understand where you come from. I talk about that all the time. We need better jobs here. We need more homes here. I agree. Bring the home here. Let them get a job here.
I agree.
Because people got to have somewhere to stay.
But the homes, we've got to have somebody willing to build the homes. And right now, we've got to find builders willing to build the homes. You can't just say that's what we want. And I hope we can, and I'm going to be helpful in that too. I know a lot of builders. I know a lot of investors out of Savannah and Atlanta that we're trying to get to invest here in Cordele. I've got a lot of connections with a lot of people that I'm trying to get to invest in Cordele. I spend all day, every day, 7 days a week promoting Chris County and Cordele, Georgia to the world. And it's working. It is working. We're selling record amounts of real estate. And if I can just get everybody, if we can all work together, we can do amazing things over the next few years and make Cordele, it's already a fantastic place to live, and make it even a better place to live.
Mr. Owens, I appreciate you coming here today. Really appreciate your input, and I'm pretty sure every one of us have the same outlook that you have, plus everybody in the city. We all want better jobs, we want a home to live in. Now, I want to just point out, just as Commissioner Shepard did, 24, they made a Highland character area. okay? They took in the number of apartments that are in there. They took all this in consideration, the houses. They went in and zoned these places, each area, accordingly, to keep the count balanced, okay? To keep it fluent throughout the community. Currently, we need houses because it said R12, single-family homes, okay? We have a builder going up the road there in the Orchard. I forget the count of that, homes going there, 40, 50, something like that. That's 2 cars per home. As Commissioner Shepherd said on this apartment complex, 120, 240. School system, they put in 200 passes, I think it was. Now, this is traffic. The reason I bring that up, this is traffic on 24th, this is traffic on Greer. If you go in there and put 240 houses or apartments, 240 cars in that area, you got that traffic. We're gonna have to rework the roads, period. I mean, they're gonna have to be expanded. Greer Street will have to be expanded. Okay, there will be a traffic issue. We're willing to put in traffic lights for that amount. Now, if we put in residential, I think you could probably get 30 houses in there to rent them, 1,500 square foot houses. They're doing the same thing in Hawkinsville. We're going in on 257, they built some beautiful houses. On the right side, they used hardy board. On the left side, they got a sign up that says 260, but they have it in brick. Okay, and that just blew my mind. So I don't know what they're doing in Hawkinsville. I haven't gotten hold of anybody yet. But I do not see how we can infringe on the citizens of that area and put in apartments that we don't know if they're going to be 1 story, 2 story, or 3 story. Because in the plan, it said they need to apply for variances. And one of them's a height variance. Okay? And in that area too, also, you have a river, which I guess would be a creek. You gotta contain a buffer, 25 foot. You also have a swamp area, I call it a swamp area. You gotta be 200 foot from that unless they can replace it into another area. So I don't see how putting apartments is going to benefit Cordele. Now, you did bring up the price of the apartments. I would suggest that you check some of the prices of some of these other apartments around here. They're over 1,000, some of them. Okay? So before you start throwing out those prices, okay, we need to look at what these other people are paying too. And there are empty apartments around. Okay? I just don't see how we can unbalance that neighborhood with single-story, 2-story, or 3-story apartments. We don't know. So I appreciate your time. I just wanted to say that. I mean, if you want to rebut me, please do, because I've always enjoyed your knowledge and your conversations. You know.
Thank you. I don't have anything else to say except for the fact that I think it will definitely help Cordele. I think we need the housing. I don't think it's going to be a big traffic issue. With growth, you have problems that the city has to adjust to and make changes. I mean, that's just part of growing. And if we want Cordele to grow and prosper, then we've got to be willing to make changes with it. And to me, there's not a better location in the entire city limits than that for apartments.
One other thing, Mr. Mayor, may I?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Sure. You said there's no other places. Down on Greer and 13th, there's apartments there. We could put any amount of apartments in that area and it wouldn't affect any of the neighborhoods around. And I've heard somebody say, well, there's a railroad track there. Anywhere in Cordele, there's a railroad. Okay, so it doesn't matter, all right? There's a church there, and I think it's the Turtons that own the property there, the apartments there. And there's, Miss Rivers has the signs up, that property is for sale. So why couldn't, instead of putting them down here, why couldn't we find a buyer to purchase that? And put
Well, I
apartments
agree
in
with
the
that
area?
hypothetically, but you've got to have a buyer willing to do it.
Exactly.
There's got to be a buyer willing to do that. And that property's been sitting there vacant for 1,000 years, and nobody's wanted to do it. The location isn't as good. The location these apartments are in would rent tremendously. It's right by I-75. It's right by all the restaurants. It's right by Home Depot and Walmart, and it's just a great location for that particular facility. But you know, I might not change any minds here today. I don't know, but I don't have a dog in the hunt. I mean, I definitely, in my mind, with my experience, feel like it's absolutely a no-brainer. And I think you guys could be heroes for Cordele for voting it in. But everybody has to vote their conscience. I know everybody sitting up there is trying to do what's best for Cordele, and I appreciate that very much.
Has Mr. Patel considered single-family homes in that area? Has
He's here if y'all would like to speak, but
financially, it would not make sense.
you know,
You know,
he paid a lot for the land, and so you've got to put something on it that has enough units to make it profitable. He's not in a no-profit business. He's an investor, and he's in business to make money like everybody is that owns businesses. And I think we have another speaker coming up on this issue too that'll probably have some good input for you. But I thank you so much for the time.
this is not, this is for my mayor.
Okay.
When our zoning staff approve or disallow the zoning, do they ever interview people in that community? You know what I'm saying? I think we're slacking somewhere as a commission board. We need to talk to people as well prior to these incidents. If I was serving on that zoning commission, I'd have went out there and did a little survey myself to see how my people are feeling before I make a decision on some of these things. I don't want to overlook the residents or the citizens of Cordele. We're here to represent them, not to put them in a bind. So that's just for me from him, and not
Yeah, I understand.
But anyway, thank you, sir, for your time.
Yes, ma'am. And I know too. What last comment is, no matter what you do in public, you're going to have people oppose it, always. And other people that oppose it have their valid reasons for doing it. And again, I respect that 100%. But I could open up a donut shop and give away free donuts, and there'll be people mad because it was making them fat. And that's just whatever you do with growth and progress. You're gonna have some people that get mad about it. But you've got to make decisions, hopefully, for what's better for the overall community. If we want it to grow, if we don't, if we're happy with it like it is, then let's keep doing what we're doing. But if we want it to grow, we've got to make some changes. We've got to allow some of these things to happen. We've got to have places for people to live, or Cordele's not going to grow. And so, again, thank you very, very much. And I think we have another speaker coming up.
Thank you, Mr.
I'll say this.
Appreciate
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Okay, and our next one.
Mr. Larry Perlis.
Well, I feel prepared after these two speakers with their presentations. The one thing that I do know is a development business, and in our last development, Cordele was bringing the Hobby Lobby into town. I can tell you that one of the biggest litmus tests that they give is housing starts. What are your housing starts? Housing starts are single-family dwellings, they're apartments. Section 8 housing, even though it's a necessity, it serves a purpose. That is a Family Dollar will look at that. Dollar General will look at that. Hobby Lobby, everybody knows, Publix was looking, Kroger was looking. They look at a whole different meaning of housing starts. We've got the Section 8 housing. We've got some of the rental houses that are needed. We have in Cordele very few nice apartments that show the growth of a community, a positive growth of a community. It was an issue, and it still is an issue, bringing development, retail development into Cordele because of the lack of housing starts. It's a big issue. That is, again, I'm going to use the word litmus test. A company looks at that and they say, well, is the community growing, or is it stagnant, or is it losing population? And lack of housing growth gives them that insight into the community. A development like Mr. Patel is wanting to put in communities in South Georgia, not only do they welcome this, a lot of the communities are willing to pay to have this development come in. Mr. Patel has not, my understanding, has not asked the city to participate with payments to bring this development in. City of Douglas, I think they just gave $20 million to get their new retail development. Moultrie gave millions and millions of dollars to bring in that development. I do know the Patel family, if they do it, it's going to be a first-class project. I've seen their projects before. It will be owned by someone who lives in the community. He'll have a vested interest in it. He'll ride by every day and look at it. and say it's not clean, it is clean, no, the landscaping is not kept, what, instead of having an outside developer that walks in and, he builds it, he sells it, and he's gone. We never see him again. I just think it's very, very, very important that this development goes forward. And if there's certain aspects of it that the commission doesn't like, sit down with him, bring him in, talk to him. Let's make some changes. There's nothing wrong with that. We all want development in our community. I think we're at the point we need to do whatever we need to do within reason to get it here. And I think a project like this is a very good start. There's nothing else like it. We don't have, look at the apartments around town, y'all. They're in fairly dilapidated shape. There's a couple of them that are okay, but it's time for some new blood and some new residential development in Cordele. And here's this man wanting to walk in and spend $15 million, $20 million. I don't see how we can turn it down. I'll be honest with you. Look at there's more to it than that. Look at the tax base. I don't have to tell y'all what the numbers are. The other thing, I've done developments in 5 states. I've never walked in to a commission meeting where there wasn't kickback. Never. Never once have I walked in and everybody said, "Oh boy, this is incredible, this is wonderful, go ahead." It's just not human nature. And I understand it. Everybody always says, "That's fine, build it, but just not next to me." And and I appreciate that. But there is going to be kickback. As Joel said, if you gave out free donuts every single day, then somebody would complain because they're not chocolate. So I would like for y'all to reassess the situation, and if there's something you don't like, call him in, sit down with him, and work it out and find a way to make it work. You don't like where the entrance is, you're concerned with traffic, maybe he can put 2 entrances in, or he can reconfigure it so that it's less intrusive to the roads.
Okay, commissioners, do y'all have any questions?
And I do.
That's why we like you.
Mr. Turner, when you came up, you didn't identify where you live. First of all, you like to the address where you live, or state your name where you live, but they didn't do that.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Larry Purlis.
I know who you are.
Okay, yeah.
Where do you live?
Oh, Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
And
in Savannah, Georgia.
And at the toward the lake, not at the lake, on the farm.
And how many multi-level apartments in your area in Savannah, in your neighborhood in Savannah, Georgia?
A lot.
Where do you live in Savannah?
On Wilmington Island.
Okay. And that's the isolated area you talk about. I know, okay? It's not multi-level apartments out over you on the water. That might be a plan. I know where you are. Okay?
Yeah.
Those who don't know, Women's Island and all the islands is sort of incorporated as a community. Where does Mr. Patel live?
Cordele.
Where in Cordele?
I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I think at the golf course, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Is there the multi-level apartments at the golf course?
No.
Have you ever lived in an area in a small town where multiple apartments are? Small town USA.
I've never lived in a small town where they're going to have a project as nice as what he
That's
is.
not what I asked you. Answer my question. Answer me.
No, I've only lived in
Okay,
Cordele, Atlanta, and Savannah.
Okay. My concern is that I have no objection to single family homes. I really don't in that area. I really don't. But I have objection to the multi-level. We don't know if it's going to be the single level, 2 level, 3 level, 4 level. I don't know if our fire chief has been talked to now. I don't know if the police has verified the traffic. I know there's traffic on 24. During the morning time, like Mr. Joe, I think his name was Joe said, there's not a traffic. Oh, it is a traffic. Any traffic. And then down there by the elementary school, I only go 24. I avoid that street sometimes. Then he said it's not traffic jam to him because he don't live in the vicinity. He don't live on 24 where the traffic is. And come out on Green Street, sometimes it takes you 3 to 5 minutes trying to get in the traffic. I know because I've been over there. because I go to that way to go to my banking service. And not only that, the bank's over too, a bank is over there, my bank is on that area. So I'm saying is that I want what's best for my residents. I'm not mad at Mr. Patel. I wish him the best. I want progress in Cordele, but I want my people, which I promise, I pledged to be here for them. And I'm not going to turn my back. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to listen to the professionals and their input, but I'm going to also go by my guidance, which I know is best, what I feel is best. And if I'm wrong, then I ask God to forgive me. Okay? And then with that being said,
Okay.
I appreciate what you say. I do. It's and you made an important. That may be, you know, bring the man in. Y'all talk to him. He may, you know, have I bought red lights before on my project? Yes, ma'am.
okay?
I've bought a red light.
Okay?
I've paid for a turn lane off of a certain thing. It's a good project. Our community needs it. Might it need tweaking to make the commission happy? Yes, ma'am. It may. Bring him in. See if there's a happy ground that you can live with, that the commission can live with, that Mr. Patel, you know, can still have a good project.
Okay?
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions?
Mr. Larry, I appreciate you coming, first and foremost.
I respect your opinions and your advice. Okay, I do think Mr. Patel needs to come in and we have to sit down and get it straight. Come to a different opinion, but one person you didn't include in that was the concerned citizens that we have in that area. Okay, that's where I come in at. It was stressed that yes, there's a stop sign everywhere you go from there. Again, I put out there's plenty of apartments over there, and according to the Highland character, you heard me say it a while ago, this was zoned for R12. My question is, I wish I'd got to Mr. Patel before he bought it, because I'd have told him, no. You just can't walk in and rezone something, okay? I'd have helped him out. I'd have walked with him hand in hand, or figuratively speaking, about that. But I want Mr. Patel to feel free to invest in the community, and we'll help him any way we can to invest in it. But at the last meeting, they could not clarify anything. And what really stresses is the community that lives in that area, plus the traffic. Greer Street will have to be expanded. It will have to have a turn lane. If not, we're going to work our poor little police department to death with accidents. They're already getting worked hard now. I'm sure down the road we'll have to put a light at 24th and Greer, more than likely. I want to see growth. Everyone sitting up here wants to see it. I want to see it more than anything. I was ecstatic when y'all rented out to Hobby Lobby, okay? And I understand there's other businesses coming, and I want to see that. And I want them to have a home, okay? And I stress that, a home. I go back to Mr. Patel's talking about nice apartments. Woodstone was a nice apartment. I think they're renting over 1,000, okay? Where's his numbers going to be at? And then where's his numbers going to be if they don't rent? Because everybody, like you said, we're in it to make a profit. And so the city's in it to make a profit, if you want to put it like that. We got to be sure before we do it, we have some senior citizens in that area that live there. We're adding 40 to 50 houses already on that street, 20th. It's going to cause a hiccup if you add 120 apartments. And I'm sure there's a way we can get around it, okay?
A hiccup is a good problem.
Yeah, a hiccup can be cured,
It means you're doing something right.
Yes, but I also got to take in the citizens' views because they live there. I had a gentleman hit me up at a nice little restaurant out of town. He called me. He knew me. I didn't have a clue who he was. And he kept talking to me about it. And he was just getting on to me, basically, I was wrong, all right? I let him finish. I asked him where he lived. He told me he lived out on Canyon Road out there. I guess that's the road that goes in between Arrowhead and Strickland's. And I said, there's some open land right across from your house, I think. I said, what if an investment coming down and put in a 3-story apartment there? And he just looked at me. I said, it's pretty bad when he hits your house. Okay. when you're sitting there away from it and you're looking at it from a distance, okay, these people live there. They've been living there. There's apartments that shouldn't be there in some areas, and they were put there, okay? And we all know that. But we can't continue on making these wrongs hoping it'll turn out right. We have to make that firm decision, and that's what I was put in for, was transparency, to work with anybody we can to get this town going. And that's what I intend to do.
You know, I'm glad you brought something up, because I do need to say, I have no dog in this hunt. We are not involved in this. I don't own property around it. If anything, to be honest with you, it'll probably be competition from me on his retail side. But I think the benefit, it will make my job easier to bring in a retailer and say, look at this. You know, look how nice this is. You know, we take them out to the lake, we take them to the other sections, and that is important. That's important to you know, when you bring somebody in and you show them the progress of a community. Progress has a wide definition, but it is important. Any other questions?
Any other questions, Commissioners?
No question, but one comment, and I think this, at the last meeting when it just died because of like second motion. Our motion to table this so we can discuss it. There are gonna be 3 commissioners who want to sit down and discuss this, and we haven't did that yet. So I'm gonna ask, that we move to table this until I can sit down with the other 2 commissioners and discuss this among ourselves. That's gonna be the fair way to do it. I just can't say yea or nay. Mr. Senator just can't say yea or nay, and Mr. Finn just can't say yea or nay until we sit down as a group, because these can't go.
Right.
And I will not let them enforce me in any way either. I just got that personality, but they can't say anything. So in the meantime, as we approach him, I would like to move the table this one until our next meeting, not 3 meetings from now, our next meeting. And in the meantime, as we approach him, I would like to meet with Mr. Senator and Mr. Finn to come up with some conclusion on this issue.
Okay, so you're making a motion to table.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's a motion to table this issue. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Discussion.
Yes, sir.
Specific time, specific times, not just table.
Mm-hmm.
Next meeting.
Until the next meeting.
To the next meeting, that's what I said. Yes, sir.
I want to make sure that was in the record.
Yes, sir.
He took part of my question.
Okay, I said to the
I
next meeting.
tell him he's an attorney.
Huh?
He took part of my question.
Okay.
But are we going to invite Mr. Patel in with us to talk about it, and Mr. Mallory?
We can have Mr. Mallory, we talk our executive director, sister, and we just set up a meeting, so all of us can come together and sit down and discuss this issue.
That's fine.
That's all I can, as a citizen can ask. Talk to him.
That's all.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to table this until the next meeting. All right, all in favor of tabling to the next meeting? Okay, motion approved. You're also made comment of a meeting, so we need to set up a meeting. Is there a time?
I'll get with them, and I'll talk to the executive director, and we can notify everybody.
Notify everybody of the public meeting, since that many commissioners.
No, the public, I'm not like
It
that.
don't have to be a public meeting with 3 commissioners.
You have 3 commissioners, it's a public meeting.
That's right.
I know we should meet 3 at a time, but we're gonna have to on this time because of the exception, because these 2 can't vote or can't say anything. I know the law said 3 of us can't meet together,
Well,
allegedly.
you can, it's just that you've got to notice it, that's all.
Okay,
You gotta
well,
put
we
out a
notify
notice.
you that we're gonna
But
meet,
if you're only
okay?
2 of you, then you don't have to.
Okay. Okay, and then, Mr. Patel and Mr. Mallory, if you're speaking for your neighborhood, I'd like to invite him. I mean, I just wanna sit down on one night, cause everything going in one ear right now, and everybody just come in, and I want to try to sit down with Mr. Sanitary, Mr. Finn, and we can come to some conclusion. Okay? This can't keep going on.
Okay, so you're gonna get with, we're gonna get with the city manager to schedule a meeting for the city manager.
City manager, whichever.
Okay, city manager, just send out some dates for us so we can all be prepared to attend that meeting.
I'll look at my schedule.
Yep, on some available dates.
Okay. I'll make
Between
time.
now and the next meeting. Okay,
Be on Friday, that would be good for me. Friday.
Friday?
okay, that's all the speaker appearances.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a question here, Mr. Gauntling. You attend about every meeting that involves housing. You're one of the largest president of one of the largest employers. My question to you is the meeting that will be scheduled, is that gonna be sufficient for you to attend? It'll be a public meeting, or would you like to have some input here today?
Thank you, Mayor Rainey. Either way, the biggest thing I wanted to say is really that we just have a huge need for housing. And I see up the road, they're building apartments, they're building neighborhoods. And we employ, I think, 953 employees as of last week. And a lot of these folks, we have to compete with the other communities as far as salaries and dollars. But these people don't have a place to live. And even if they come here and live, and I remember moving to an apartment and then I built a house later. You gotta get people in the community first. And so I'm not necessarily speaking for this project as much as I'm here to say from an employer perspective, we need more housing. We've been trying to work with the city on grants, same thing, to try to support the infrastructure for water and sewer, so we could have more single-family development or any other kind of development. But primarily, we need places for people to live if they're going to work. To compete, to get people here for healthcare jobs in particular, we need places for people to live. So I can say, I'd like to come to the other meeting, but I'm kind of saying what I intended to say here today anyway.
Okay. David, will you just notify all the speakers and those that are here that are interested when we schedule the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, we're going to continue on to department head reports, Community Advancement Director.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'll keep my report brief. Had a great time with the CTAE student tour. The kids had an opportunity to come hear what we do here at City Hall. That was fantastic. The Orchard subdivision submitted their final plat. It's approved, and within about 30 days, they're hoping to start permitting and turning over dirt. Attended a hazard mitigation meeting. I've been talking to the owner of Autocracy Farms. They had the two-night jamboree there, and so we are looking at other events that we can do there. I had an opportunity to go to a conference with entertainment tourism. Spoke to the young lady there. She is going to come and tour Cordele. She helped Covington with their tourism and turn Covington into what Covington is, with the Vampire Diaries and The Walking Dead and that kind of thing. Also, the city of Jackson. Jackson has a population of 5,000, but they had 120,000 visitors because of the efforts of this person that I met and that I would love to be able to bring before the commission to talk about bringing tourism. Attended the Georgia Academy for Economic Development with Ms. Darby and I. Had a great opportunity to meet some people, see how Cartersville has grown, and connect with folks that we can then refer back to see how to help us grow our downtowns like theirs. We had a meeting for the revolving loan fund. We are going to be rewriting our underwriting policy, and let's see, talked to several modular home companies and prefab home companies, trying to get pricing so that they can basically truck in homes, and then we build them in some of these smaller communities or some of these smaller lots. And then attended the employee appreciation luncheon. Enjoyed it. Food was fantastic. Thank you all for supplying. And that's it. If you have any questions.
Okay, are there any questions for our Community Advancement Manager? Okay, Ms. Maurice, I just got one question.
Yes, sir.
On the Orchard subdivision, is the road in the Orchard subdivision a city road or not a city road?
My understanding was that when it was built, it was given to the city. But
So
I
that's
will
that's our.
yes, sir, but I'll verify that. I don't want to give any misinformation. I will verify with them that that was the case. But my understanding was when that was built initially, that it was given over to the city.
Okay, it was given over to the city.
That's my
Can
understanding.
you check on that?
But I believe the streets were taken over to the city after the project was completed, until it was installed.
If it is for sure, we got some work on some curb and gutter in there as far as some maintenance on our. So we need to talk to our public works about that. So there you go. Okay.
We also need powerful codes riding through
There, when they start building, to monitor that street to ensure they're not tearing it up. Okay, to hold them locked. They'll fix it. I mean, the builder will fix it, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But we just need to be mindful of that.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next will be our finance department.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we're gonna start off with the sales tax collection for Lost, Splash, and T-Splash. We collected $442,317.85 for the month of March. Okay. We'll move over to our financial summary. For utilities, we billed $623,063.51. We collected $698,129.02. We had 37 new accounts and 74 transfers. For business license, we collected $245,123.86. For property taxes, for the month of March, we collected $992,397.90. Total wages paid out for March was $591,923.80. And for total invoice disbursement, that's what we paid out in bills, was $2,451,324.73. Any questions?
Okay, commissioners, y'all have any questions? Okay.
How many disconnects and reconnects do we have?
Okay, I don't have this on this list. You know, Christy?
The way you look at how many same day reconnects.
Okay, so we have 573 disconnected, same day reconnects was 511.
511?
Yes. But we consider same day within 24 hours because they can pay online. Overnight.
Do we have an update on the plan for utilities, fees? Where do we stand with that?
I think
Discussion, it's supposed to be the next meeting.
we're looking at something for that.
We've just been kicking this can around for a while, but
I
okay.
got it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bennett, I see that you're here. Do you have anything to add to finance?
I can give you an update on the audit and just general what we've learned so far on that. If you'd like.
Okay.
So the audit, we did begin that this week, which was right on time. We wanted to have a May 1st start date, so they're doing a lot of that remotely. I'm working with Malden Jenkins on making sure they have the documentation that they need. They will be coming for a couple of days site visit, maybe next week, on some of the bigger like invoices and stuff. It's just easier for them to look at in paper form. But I think we're right on target with that. And because we've gone through this audit process as part of cleaning up 25, 26 is also getting cleaned up as well. And so we're starting to get a lot of clarity on things. I think one of the things that the chief may be bringing to you guys that I've discussed is the need for police cars and some ammunition, guns, things like that for the department. There is money available in the SPLOST now that we've reconciled that. So I think you'd be safe to approve the 4 vehicles and the guns that are needed out of those funds. I'd met yesterday with the city manager discussing further needs for the police department. And so I guess some of that will be brought up, but there's a need for additional fleet in the cars. And then I guess looking at to seeing updating those vehicles, getting maybe 2 or 3 a year as part of the budget process, and using SPOS funds as available, will help the police department continue to have things that are upgraded and not costing the city so much to maintain. The other thing, the long-term debt for the office building authority that has now been paid off, so that's free. It's going to free up money in the budget. That was over $500,000 a year that was being paid. That's being paid off. A lot of other purchases that were previously years purchased with SPLOS, those debt payments at the end of 26 are going to be paid off. So we have to see about another $200,000 of reduction in cash available that was going toward debt service. So there's going to start to be a little bit of money available around here and giving us, like I said, more clarity on what's going on here. But the main thing is the audit is back on track. That's due by June 30th. We believe we won't have a problem getting that completed on time. And then you'll be into your budget year to get the approved budget, and then we'll be working on closing the 26 year out.
Okay, Commissioners, are there any questions for Mr. Bennett? Okay, I only have one question.
Okay.
The SPLOS funds, is that the previous SPLOS or current SPLOS?
It would needs to come out of the current SPLOS.
Current SPLOS. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
And then there will need to be at a future meeting, we can have a discussion on what to do. And I'd asked Tommy if he could give us some input on this. We have money available from a previous SPLOS that essentially was over. We collected more than what the referendum was for. We have now spent the referendum total, but now there's additional money there, and we need some clarification on how that money can be allocated. If you could help us with that too.
How much is that? You know?
We're about $2.5 million that we have available. Over.
Well, that's a good problem.
It is. I want to make sure we spend it the way we're supposed to.
Right, yeah, but I mean, that's a good problem.
It is.
You know, I like having problems like that.
It is.
Do we have the money? Is it our coffers
Or is it still in the county's call?
We have it. We have it. And this resulted when I guess after the city and the county, this was a discussion we had last time too. Once the referendum was funded, then it went to a higher split. Basically, we were splitting it pretty much even with the county at that point for about a year and a half to 2 years. That's why we ended up with extra money here. So,
Thank you.
all right.
Okay.
Mr. Wright, I have to add that was the exact comment I made yesterday. We were riding to lunch because we had those excess funds. So that's a good problem.
Yeah,
That's right.
Now, wait a minute, let me make one more question. County can't get their paws on that, can it?
No.
No, we have control.
Okay,
We have control of that money.
No, that was a SPLOS negotiation where it was if it's overfunded, the excess above the budgeted amount would be split based upon population,
Okay.
That's all I want to know.
and that's in the current agreement as well.
As long as it's
if
ours, that's all I want.
yeah, if it overfunds,
I know wastewater treatment needs some money. Can we spend some back there?
well, that's the question for the city attorney to get back to us on
Okay.
what we can do.
All right.
Okay.
Chief needs some too.
Okay.
Fire chief needs some too. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just looking around. Public Works needs some too. I know they need some. I see them back there.
All of them. They got their hands out. You know what they look like? Birds.
That's right.
Like birds. Say, feed me. Feed me.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead to the next department head report, fire department.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was going to be requested to attend that next meeting, but you beat me to it. So hopefully that extra SPLOS money meeting we'll all get a chance to attend. Goals, as always, to provide the best possible service to the citizens and visitors of Cordele through professionalism, training, quick response, effective emergency mitigation, community risk reduction programs, and community engagement. The reporting period is March 30th through April 27th. There were 137 total calls for service. You'll see the outline calls of importance. We had 82 medical calls for assistance, 2 vehicle fires, 4 motor vehicle accidents. We had 4 structure fires during that period. One thing that's not highlighted that I want to mention there is we responded to 13 grass or rubbish fires. I want to remind everybody that there is a statewide burn ban in effect until at least October 1st. Fires currently at a grass fire right now. So I just urge everybody to to please hold off with burning until at least October 1st. The last report I got, the wildfire in East Georgia is about 75% contained. So the rain did help them kind of get a handle on that. Accomplishments, we completed all of our flow testing, our annual maintenance on our SCBAs, that's our mask and our harnesses. We enjoyed giving a tour and talking about the fire service to the seniors at Chris County High School. We actually got one application out of that, so obviously we did a pretty good job with that. Our budget proposal meeting with the city manager and the finance director was on the 22nd. We've completed that. We've done all of our annual pump testing. That's for engine 1 and 2, our reserve engine 4, and ladder 1. We do want to thank the commission and David Wade for the employee recognition lunch on the 23rd and the employee appreciation lunch on the 24th. They were both great meals, and we do appreciate that. And then finally, we attended the Autism Stroll and Touch a Truck event on the 25th. That concludes my report.
Okay, Commissioners, is there any questions for our fire chief?
I have one question, I'm not for sure, and it's directly who are public works. How often do you flush your fire hydrants? You know, I used to see them come different times, I'm questioning, how often do you flush our fire hydrants?
We maintain the hydrants, and that we just completed going around and weed eating and clearing around them. We pressure washed them, and now we're going to go back and paint them. We grease the caps, paint them, we maintain them. We don't flush them.
Okay. So who flushes them? Okay, thank you.
We try to flush them, at least a quarter of them every year.
Okay.
But it's been tough.
Someone asked me a question, I can answer who flushed my house, and you know.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Thank you, Fire Chief.
Thank you.
Chief Allen, good. Yes, sir. Okay, next will be Human Resources.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
You have the report. I'm just going to hit a couple highlights that we accomplished this month. On April 8th, we attended the South Georgia Technical College Advisory Committee meeting. As of April 13th, of those that utilize the city clinic, we have a new provider. On April 24th, we received a resignation on firefighter and fire department. Effective April 27th, we had several promotions: public works director, fire training officer, police detective, heavy equipment operator. And on the 29th, we extended a conditional offer of employment for a firefighter applicant. And that's all I have.
Okay. Commissioners, y'all have any questions for Human Resources?
I do.
Okay.
We don't have, I've never seen, I know the pay scale of people in the city, but I don't have a chart that tells me you get X amount of dollars for doing this. In other words, I don't know what anybody qualifies for as far as pay. And to make good decisions, that's something that we all should have a copy of, so that we can help do some of that in executive session when we're talking to David.
Okay.
For instance, I know of one that's supposed to be getting some extra money, and he ain't never got it yet. And I just want to find out. I want a copy
Of the pay scale.
of the pay scale for every position here.
Okay.
And I want to know any extras that go with it. In other words, if this person over here has a certificate in this, they get X amount of dollars for that. Okay, so that we can help.
It's generally a step up. The way the certifications that are bringing, like with the police department.
But my point is I know some that have been 2 years and they ain't got it. So I'm just saying why, and I want to know why, and we're going to figure out
That's
why.
a good question.
If I can get that, I would like to have that.
We'll get with David on that and we'll get you something.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Commissioners, you got any other questions?
No, she said that on me.
Okay. All right. No problem.
I'm just
all right. Municipal Court.
Good morning, everyone. For the month of April, we had a total of 145 traffic cases, 23 criminal cases, for a total of 168. We had 6 bench warrants ordered, 23 license suspensions. For our total deposits between the cash, the fines, probation, web payments, we had $42,191. And No other deposits, no transfers.
Okay, Commissioners, are there any questions from municipal court? Okay, thank you, appreciate you. Okay, planning and community development.
Hi. Good morning, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, and fellow commissioners. Mary Darby, Planning and Community Development Department. This is my report for the month of April on project activities and meetings attended to support the orderly growth and development of the city. We are hosting through the River Valley Regional Commission a training for the Board of Zoning Appeals as well as the Planning Commission on May 21st. River Valley Regional Commission will be here to train our board for BZA, and on June 25th, they'll be here to schedule a training for Planning Commission. The meetings will be held at 10 a.m. during our regularly board meetings or hearings. As of April 27th, there were 20 building permit types issued for by our permit technician, Marcia Toussaint, which include demolition, building, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and occupancy certificates. I think when codes or the police department provide their report, they will mention more about what those type of permits were. Maurice mentioned that the Economic Development Revolving Loan Fund is updating their underwriting policy. He's spearheading that as the secretary of the board. We did submit a second extension request for our compliance. We're waiting on DCA for a follow-up on that. They were out last week and on vacation. On April the 27th, we met with the consultant for the EDA infrastructure grant, and we are pending a follow-up meeting. They're waiting for staff here at Cordele to complete a project's estimate sheet, so we may move that project forward. The Georgia Initiative for Community Housing, Gillespie Seldom Urban Redevelopment Plan. We were awarded our recertification, yay, for the housing plan. It was approved by DCA. And so I would like to thank Susan Ledger-Boyke for kind of leading and spearheading that event and really providing the leadership on that. We have received 3 proposals for a zoning ordinance rewrite. And I have disseminated those proposals through the code division, myself, as well as through the interim city manager. And we do have a recommended selection. However, I have recommended to the interim city manager that we wait till after we have our work session with the River Valley Regional Commission and our training sessions to move that forward. I am currently working on our Plan First application for the city of Cordele, and I have a draft prepared, and I'll be meeting with David this Friday on the review on my proposals for the application. We are continuing to expedite and track our city projects for quality growth. This month I've had 2 pre-applications meeting and answered multiple questions for potential zoning and development within the city. I would like to announce that Harbor Freight has been approved by the operating departments as well as our land development disturbance representative, and they have applied for billing their permits, and after that they are approved for that, then the applicant stated that 10 weeks after they normally will break ground or move forward. And that will conclude my report. Do you have any questions?
Okay, are there any questions?
I got one.
Okay.
The Plan First application.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How does that correspond to the comprehensive plan?
Okay, so great question. So our Plan First application basically says that as a community, as a board, we will look at our comprehensive plan first and our work program and activities and projects in the plan as we move forward in the orderly growth and development of the city. So it's basically saying that we're acknowledging that we have our comprehensive plan and that we're going to look at it first before we make decisions.
So something that's already been zoned, how does that reflect on this Plan First if we change it?
So there are a couple of things. So our comprehensive plan looks at a bird eye view up in the sky, and it looks down on the city, and it says this is what we want our city to look like over a 20-year span. And our work program that's in the comprehensive plan is the voice of the community. So those projects goes into the work plan, into the work program of the comprehensive plan. And that basically said, this is where we're trying to go over the next 20 years. Our zoning ordinance comes in, it implements our zoning ordinance. So it has like development standards, it has the uses that are permitted, our intents, our goals, and it implements what we're trying to do with our comprehensive plan. So the two of those working together are supposed to be compatible and consistent. When they're not compatible and consistent, that's when we get into recommendations for amendments to the plan. Or the zoning ordinance.
Good. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, Miss Mary, Harbor Freight.
Yes, sir.
It is coming.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you state that one more time?
Harbor Freight is coming. Staff has reviewed their plans. We've stepped off on it. It's been approved. We have our plans that's been approved. The land disturbance permit has been, I'm not sure if it's been issued, but we approved for it to be issued. And so, yeah, we're moving forward.
So it's going to be a new construction.
It is actually going where the previous Belks building is located. So it's a reuse, a repurpose.
So it's not
going to be next to Hobby Lobby.
No, sir. It's the Belts. So
That's
they.
gonna be an issue.
Okay.
These guys have got wives, they go in Hobby Lobby.
Is there a timeline on that?
Yes, they stated, the applicant stated that 10 months after they pull their permits, not 10 months, I'm sorry, 10 weeks after they pull their permits, they usually like to move forward. They kind of like expediting this project. The grand opening, they said, is their brand, that on a Tuesday, they will have a grand opening, whatever that is.
Okay. And my next question, you're looking at all the zoning to try and get things more feasible, zoned appropriately.
Yes, and
this property, I'm gonna just say it, this property that we're looking at, that is before us, that we're about to have a meeting on, has a lot of different zoning on it that don't make sense. And there's other properties all along 75 right through there that don't have zonings that don't make sense. And for the uses that are available to them. So I'm just talking about the whole broad span along 75. You're looking at that.
So I'm looking at it, but there are a lot of inconsistencies over time. And our zoning ordinance rewrite, when we hire our consultants, they're going to do a zoning audit and kind of look at everything. And so that's going to be an integral part. Our zoning ordinance rewrite is going to be an integral part of updating our zoning map and moving our zoning to make it more consistent and more what Cordele is looking for. But at the same time, I think that we have to, as a body, as a one unit, make sure that we all know where we're going so it can be compatible and consistent with our plan and our zoning ordinance. So I think that the request for the two things from River Valley Regional Commission, the trainings for our board, as well as some of our work sessions that we're requesting for our, what a moratorium is, how you merge a board, all those type of things will play an integral part as we move forward before we bring our zoning consultants in. I think that we all need to be on the same page.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I want to point out, you brought that up. From the trucking company on 8th Avenue 257 south, there's a lot of property that the city does not own, to include the trucking company. Should we not be annexing that?
So that's something we can do, but it depends on the property owner would have to provide a request. The request goes to the mayor, asking that the properties are annexed. The mayor sends the request down to the city manager via planning department, and then we kind of take it from there in terms of what we recommend the planning or the zoning should be. But it starts with the mayor, like the property owner writing a letter of intent to the mayor requesting an annexation.
So for us to do the infrastructure down through there, it needs to be in the city because we basically giving our water away, you know, to those that are out, to companies without any benefit for people living in the city.
So I'm not sure in terms of moving forward, we're requesting property owners to request an annexation. That was something I would have to get with the interim city manager to see how would we do that. Like, do we have the authority to reach out to the property owners and say, hey, we're interested in you annexing your property? And like, I don't know what that looks like. We would have to decide what that looks like.
As a general rule, Mayor, if you give water to somebody in the unincorporated, they're not coming in. So what you have to do, what most cities do, is just, if somebody wants water, so that's fine, but you've gotta come in the city limits to get it.
Okay.
And that's just something you do initially, when somebody comes and asks for a particular utility service.
Is there, Mr. Mayor, is there a way, if I might, is there a way that if we want to run water from point A to F and B, C and all is in the county, how do we cross that bridge to get them there?
Well, if they're in F, they may be hard to annex. But if you do it by local, something other than General Assembly doing it, then they can annex anything. But it has to be contiguous with a certain area, a certain frontage so that'd be difficult, but that doesn't mean you can't run it. But when you provide water or any other service in an unincorporated area or in another, you have to have permission from the county. My guess is we've already informally had that because we already provide water in the county in some places. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
I have not ever seen a document that said that's fine, but my guess is there was some agreement somewhere 25 years ago whether they wrote it down or not, I don't know. But yeah, you could do that, yes, you run it down the right of way, but you would have to have, generally, in the consent of the unincorporated area, that you will have to do to get it there, yes. There are 4 ways to get property in the city. 3 of them are initiated locally, and the General Assembly can put anything in the property in the city if they want to. But the General Assembly recently, in the last years, shied away from annexation because they have created ways for you to do it by the 100% method, the 60% method, or by referendum. So that does require some sort of initiation by somebody.
These questions are coming about because of some of the developments that are looking at
Yes, sir.
and subdivisions and commercial and retail.
I
So
sure wouldn't do any of them until you reach some agreement. And you can make a decision if you want to provide water or sewer or whatever in the unincorporated area, but I would argue vociferously that you don't want to do that until they come in the city.
okay.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor, would I be out of order here, or Mr. Mayor, to say that we stop providing water to any new places outside the city? If I understand that correctly, or do we just want to put it off and look at it next week or next meeting? Help me out.
I think David, you got an ordinance about that, didn't I draft one a couple of weeks ago? I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to review that at the next meeting. Okay, that way we can all have the ordinance here so we can.
It doesn't require an ordinance, really. It's fine to do it that way, but all you gotta do is tell your water department, you don't wanna put any water in the county unless
they're in the city.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lot simpler than we're making it at. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, police, codes, and animal control.
Here it is.
George Extra?
Huh?
You charge extra for this?
for you to leave, I'm talking about Howard, so.
Morning. How is everybody? A little sore and slow moving this morning, but Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, I would just like to recognize, he's on the agenda as far as recognizing his graduation, but just like to stand up, Gregory. Just recognize him graduating the police academy. This is a local grown young man, graduate of Chris County High School, ROTC here. When he graduated, both of his instructors attended the graduation ceremony that we had. And I just, want to recognize him. You care if I tell your story real quick? This young man, when he come in, just really quick, Mayor, when he interviewed, he didn't get all the questions right. But when we got to talking about it, his mother passed away and his younger brother passed away all within 6 months of each other in the same year. And this man didn't quit school. He stayed in ROTC. He kept working a job. So I said, you know what? If this man can deal with this adversity, this is somebody I want. And here we are. He went through the academy. He was stressed out. Welcome aboard, son, and I greatly appreciate you coming on, and I can't wait to see the good things you're going to accomplish. You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Y'all free to go. Thank y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your dedication.
I just thought that was just worth pointing out for y'all. I mean, I think that's just so important that y'all see some of the folks that we're getting in. And I do want to mention we ended up with high school when we participated in that. I believe we've got 2 applicants out of that group that want to come over. So I think that's good news. But anytime we can get locally, keep the diversity in the police department looking like the community in which we serve, which is one of the things I pledged when I became the police chief, and I think we're sticking to that. So we're going to continue to do that. Let's see. Let's go on to, y'all can read all these numbers. As far as total calls for service, the reporting period March the 30th through April the 27th, we'll just say 1,100 calls for service. Y'all can see all the differences, between all those calls. Currently, we have 4 applicants. We're still working on backgrounds on 2 of them. 2 cadets started, and they're local also, started the academy on Monday, May the 4th. 2 females that are from the community, 1 African-American female and 1 Hispanic female, both started the academy. So I'm looking forward to what they can do. Sergeant Lewis New transferred from COES to CID. We also had milestones with several of our officers get their intermediate and advanced certifications through post. So that gets them a little advancement with their pay. So very proud of that. That's 150 hours per certification of training to get those. So that's a lot of hard work, and that's per certification, not total. Commissioner Finn and I have spoke about the lighting. Prior to the meeting we spoke, and he's going to provide me a list that he already has identified where we're going to put up the street lights, Mayor and rest of the commission. We've started on that project. So as soon as him and I talk, then we'll move forward on that, getting these lights going.
So how many of them will you be doing to start? All of them?
Yes, sir. I was going to get with, I guess it's Mr. Manning. Is that right, Mr. Wade?
Blanket it's
Right.
the name eludes me.
Yeah, it does me too. But we have communicated through email, and then once we start, we'll give the list, and I'm sure they'll want to section it off as far as how many they're going to put up at a time.
Okay. Can you give us an update on over the next several meetings on the progression of that?
Absolutely. And I want to provide you a list of where they're going. That way, if y'all have any objections or want any suggestions also with it, that y'all have that opportunity.
This has been a huge issue for Commissioner
Let
Shepard.
me ask you a question. So are you okay? I see you keep holding it.
I cracked 3 ribs on Sunday, so I'm hurting.
Okay.
I'm good.
Would you be better sitting?
No, I'm good. I'm good. We're good. I went to the city clinic and she hooked me up, and I just so we're good. It just hurts to breathe.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not a heart attack or anything. It's just 3 ribs cracked right here on the side. So and there's just nothing you can do about it other than wrap them and take some ibuprofen. There's really not a whole lot you can do. She did give like a lidocaine patch that helps, but you got to keep it off for 12. Put it on for 12, take it off for 12. So unfortunately, this is a 12. I got to keep it off. No, it's all it is. It's just cracked ribs. I'm good to go. But yes, I want to provide you, Mayor, with the list of where we tentatively plan to put them all. And then that way, if you have any concerns or objections or say, no, I would rather have some here, we can certainly move on that. I think that's only fair so that each ward is, represented correctly.
Thank
you. You're certainly welcome. Y'all well know about the tragedy where GBI was called in with the death of the 3-year-old twins. Attended that whole thing, attended their funeral, brought in the command staff to help with that funeral escort. Certainly a sad and tragic series of events that day. And that's all I'll say about that. That's still under investigation. Events, one of the ones I want to talk about is Coffee with a Cop on April the 15th at the Family Dollar. I have to say that we had such a great turnout there. That's probably the best one I've attended. And it's a Family Dollar right here on 7th Street. But we got so many just conversations with citizens and appreciations or, hey, can you help me with this? And I was just very overwhelmed, really, how many conversations, that we had with the public. So that was a really, really good turnout. Probably the best one I think that I participated in. So we're definitely going to hit that location again. We participated in the kickoff for Crime Victims Week. Officer Pollock and Abigail Murphy decorated the front of City Hall with that for Child Abuse Prevention Month. It's called Chalk Your Walk. They got out there and did that, and they did a really good job with it. I, along with several of the staff, participated in Chris County's first Bible reading marathon. We all got certificates that went over there and read, and that was a great turnout. Super much enjoyed that. Several of us attended the candlelight vigil at the clubhouse, and I was given the opportunity to light the memory candle, which was really cool and a somber event, and listening to some of the victims get up and speak at that event. If you never got to attend one of those, I highly suggest that you do so, because they actually had victims in there of crime that actually lost their loved ones, some recently and some a long, long time ago, and it was really interesting to hear their story. So it's definitely a moving thing. Let's see, Chris County Primary School Craze Day, we participated in that. Autism Stroll, we participated in that Touch Truck event. Let's see, Cordele Main Street, Cordele Police Department are hosting an event in honor of National History Month. Afternoon at the museum will be held at the Cordele Main Street Museum on May 14th from 5:30 to 7. Let's see, meetings. Y'all see all those. We attended every one of those. The milestone one I'll pick out, that was with Brandon. With Brandon facilitated that. With the Chris County Sheriff's Office, we come over here, they have like 12 representatives. And we went over with the server with the new camera system as far as training and how that's going to work. And their users, our users, they're at the certain rights and kind of thing. And then the people from the company were there also to provide that training. So we're well on our way getting on that. I don't want to take any away from him as far as where we're at in that progress. But we did host that and had a good turnout. We were going to attend this rap training on the 22nd. Unfortunately, we had the tragic event. What I want to explain to that, I think all you know, I know the mayor does, but we're having to transport 1013 patients all over the state of Georgia. We're averaging right now at least 2 transports a week. We're going all over the state, north of Atlanta, down to Valdosta, over on the Alabama side. I mean, we're just going all over. Well, some of those, we've had 3 patrol cars damaged. Them kicking the windows out, them messing up the door frame. You can't replace the door. So this wrap, the sheriff's office has one. Basically what it does, it immobilizes the person. You can no longer lay the person on their stomach for as a positional fixation. We just can't do that. So basically what this does, it just keeps them in almost like a cocoon. Their feet are straight out, they're sitting straight up. You seatbelt them in. That way they can't damage the car, hurt themselves. We tried the one where you just put your feet and then you can put that outside the door. Well, guess what they do with their head? They banged it in, got a big knot, then they won't take them at the mental health facility. You got to go to that local hospital. So this right here should prevent that. I don't know what day we rescheduled that training to, but that is a necessity that we're going to have if we want to keep patrol cars from being tore up. Let's see, state support, state peer support critical incident. That was on the 29th. That's the first one I'll take that back. Second one I participated in. So all the first responders, including EMS, ER staff, sheriff's office, police department, anybody that responded and had they divided this up in groups as far as how much you had to do with the children that day. Pinecrest hosted us. We went in and fire department personnel, just any emergency responder that day, and they broke us up into groups as far as did you have a hands-on, and then versus you were just, you were there, you saw some of the things, and then we debriefed and told our story, and then went through a series of questions. Pretty somber event, but I think it really helped. It allowed the folks to talk. It allowed them to deal with the stress of such a tragic event. So I appreciate the state coming in and taking care of that, and Colonel Youngblood with the Sheriff's Office helped facilitate that at Pinecrest Church. So that was a good thing for everybody involved. Also, just want to make sure from the scene, I contacted Mr. Wade and said, hey, we're probably going to have to make EPA available. Not that it wasn't already. And I contacted him from the scene. He contacted Miss Melinda, who's been great with my short notice with applicants. She facilitates to make it happen. Contacted our EPA services, and that was available that day. She called me and said, hey, anybody needs to call me. I got these available appointments. I can talk to you on the weekend, whatever. And I appreciate you doing that. That was important. We had some young ones that really struggled with that. Hell, I struggled with that myself, especially when I got a grandkid. And those of y'all that have never touched a dead child, it's just not fun. So I appreciate you making that happen. Let's talk about animal control real quick. Anything on the police department side? Anybody got any questions on that before I go forward? I'll get to that last part as far as... Yes, sir.
So you're talking about the people that are acting up in your patrol cars and everything. Y'all don't do screen tests anymore?
What you mean screen test?
Only old police to know that.
Screen test. I don't guess that. I've been living that since I was born. Dad retired as South Alabama police chief. I don't know what a screen test is.
I'm gonna tell you later.
That'll work. If you're thinking what I'm calling, we called it something else. But
okay, same thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, unfortunately, when you do that, is they certainly won't take them. So there you go. Now I'm picking on it. It was called something else. Mr. Wade, I guess before we progress forward, as far as that is asking about the cars and things that Mr. Bennett brought up. You're going to deal with that. I don't need to deal with that in this presentation.
If you would like to make a presentation of the equipment you're looking at, vehicles you're looking at,
go ahead and do so with the police department. Okay.
All right. My report to request approval.
All right. Sorry about that. So we kind of done that a little bit out of order. So as Mr. Bennett brought up, we are requesting some vehicles. I've done several quotes, the cheapest I can come up with, and we're not having any problems out of them. And that's Woody Folsom, and that's for the Dodge Durango at $44,250. We're requesting, he brought up 4 that there's a money. The original request was 3. So he had brought that up. But so my understanding is $200,000 would buy 3 vehicles and purchase firearms. The reason the firearms are so important right now, we're dealing with Generation 4. The night sights on our current weapons no longer work. So we've got to progress forward and get them some equipment that they need. We've got that down to approximately, y'all see the quotes in here. We've done several. Amchar is the one that's come in the cheapest with our trade-ins. He actually took the time and come down and showed us what he had. None of the other ones did so. He spent time with us right down here at the range. He's come in with the lowest bid. It's the same gun. I do request that we approve that. The reason being, I also included the quote that expired on April the 26th. And the new quote, each firearm went up $45 and the holsters went up $1 and I think 63 cents. So they're going to keep going up as all these departments are doing it. All the Central Georgia and South Georgia departments are investing to this system. Sheriff's Office has done it. Perry's done it. Warren Robins has done it. Centerville's done it. Fort Valley's done it. State Patrol's done it. GBI's done it. So everybody's progressing to this platform. So they're just the need is there. So they're gonna keep, going up in price. So I do request that we get those because it is certainly a need. Any questions about that so far?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
On the purchases that we're looking at here from Woody Folsom in Douglas, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
These are on Dodges.
Yes, sir.
What were the bids from the only place we have in Cordele?
47. That's in there.
Okay.
I put that in there because what I did is
Were those for
the Explorer.
For Explorer? So
Yes, sir.
Similar vehicle.
Yes, sir. As far as the Ford price, we also reached out to the one there in Unadilla,
Right.
and the problem is and I actually brought Jamie in and had a conversation in my office. The problem is he can't get them right now. Ford hasn't opened them. Now Brandon's in a different spot, but they're still coming in at 47. The new ones are gonna probably come in at 49. So at 44,250, we're not having any issues out of them. They like the car, and we're about $3-4 grand cheaper.
Let me say this for the record. If it's when we're talking about the cost of the vehicle or something like that, and I happen to know a great deal about the cost of vehicles because I spent the better part of 25 years in the automotive industry, so I understand it very well. I also understand that buying local is probably, if not my major concern, it is one of my major concerns. And if we have to go slightly over to stay local, I would rather go slightly over. I know the county has a policy of 5% on stuff, but now that don't count on vehicles because vehicles cost $50,000. But we got to have a range in there where what we buy in a vehicle, say $1,000, and we're staying local and spending it on people that are actually living here and paying taxes and so forth and so on, I much prefer to do. Unadilla, okay, as well. There, but you got Ford and Chevrolet up there. Douglas is 80 miles from here.
Yeah, but I did bring that out. The reason we got onto that is because of the sheriff's office.
I got
they bought all their Dodge Durangos and Dodge Chargers from there because they came in with the quote. I tried to do that locally, and I don't have a dog in the fight where they come from. I just need the vehicle. Y'all want to pay more for them? Great.
I want you to get the vehicles. I have an issue with buying outside of our community, too far outside of it. If it does, we got people that work in Unadilla that live in Cordele.
Sure.
We got people now that just bought a brand new dealership here, and we're moving money to whole another area. So, and I get you're taking another bid. I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. What my point is that if it's at all possible, we need to spend our money here.
I agree with you.
I agree with him also, and that your service will be done here. You have to carry 80
Right.
miles ahead of the vehicle service.
Thank you.
We would service them here, and plus we've already experienced that. They bring this happened at the sheriff's office as well. They bring in a rollback. They take it to their dealership. They bring it back. Costs the city nothing.
Chief, if we go local, what's delivery time on this vehicle?
We're 90 days out. They're sitting right here on these cars. I'm picking them up tomorrow as soon as y'all catch the check, and that's for both of them.
So local dealership's 90 days out?
Correct. That's Jamie Reed's word, not mine.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
what's your preference for an interior of the vehicle working? Which one?
I like the Durango, but like I said, if y'all want to go 4,000 or 5,000 more and get an Explorer, I don't care. That is what it is. We're not having any issues with them. I do have a Ford Explorer sitting down at our local Ford place right now with 85,000 miles on it, and they can't fix it. So I don't think there's a deal there as far as quality. We bought 6 last time. We bought 4 Chargers, 1 Durango. We haven't had one single problem out of them. They come in at the low bid, and we're not having any issues. So I did my 3 bids again. They're about $40,000 difference, so I went with that location. So if y'all want me to change that, can certainly do so.
Over 4 vehicles, you talking saving
16,000.
Right, almost to pay for the whole upfit of 1 vehicle or 2 upfits if you do, an admin type thing.
Okay. So, the officers, their preference would be the more room inside the Durango versus the Explorer.
Correct. As far as the interior room, I think they're in comparison as far as the interior of the Durango and the Explorer. I don't want to say that they're not. There are some features that they enjoy with the key fob. As long as it's in your pocket with the Dodge product, you walk up, you just pull a handle, it comes open. You close the door, you hit a button because they're in a lot of hurry. You don't have to click a button. That's just some of the stuff that they've given us on the Dodge product that we all like. Again, like I said, I don't have if you guys want to approve another $4,000 per vehicle, then I can certainly, go that route. That's entirely up to y'all.
Another thing, your local dealership, talk about support the community as well. I have a lot of interesting things going on in Cordele, and some of these local agencies provide some assistance for these low income people. So I don't want to hit myself in the face, when the community receives some type benefits, not necessarily by purchasing a car, but they're so nice about supplying things for the children and youth in this community. So we need to sort of look in the area detail before we just say, yes, let's go to Douglas or Alabama, Mississippi. Look at home. I'm a shop home first person too.
Well, I don't know what else I can compare. All it is now is either y'all say buy the product, which is the same place we bought the 18 months ago.
What color we gonna be?
The ones we got right now are gray.
Right. Well,
Instead of the black.
You gonna use the red and yellow livery?
No, absolutely not.
You know?
No, sir.
They look so beautiful.
No, sir. Can't do that.
I make a motion that we purchase locally.
Or not Durangos, but Explorers, along with the weapons. Then we go ahead and authorize the chief to do that.
Okay, we got a
The
motion.
discussion of it is, he says that they're 90 days out.
Yes, sir.
How long can we wait? Give us a realistic.
There's a need now.
Yeah.
If you tell me we gotta wait, we'll make it work. If you're approving the vehicles, beggars can't be choosers.
Well, we want to approve the vehicle.
Sure,
The-
sure.
The purpose is like she's saying, like Ms. Vester's saying, is, excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem Vester, Bill Shepherd.
That's fine.
All right, okay. What we're saying is that companies like that, even though they're new, but when Sunbelt was there, they were that way, and many of the others that have been here, South and Chrysler, when they were here, they contribute more than just taxes into our community. They contribute by buying stuff and doing things that are local for the people. So it's more than just a tax. It's also the community involvement that they're going to have.
Sure.
No car dealership's going to come into the community and not be involved. It'd be suicide for the business. They might as well close doors and leave.
Sure.
So with that being said, I strongly favor local. Okay, and because like she said, that can be worked on. I don't want to put you off on it. I just would prefer spending our money at home. The way money works out in my mind is please pay me so I can pay him so he can pay you. You got to let money flow, and the more of it that we let flow within the community of Cordele and Clifton County, the better off in the long run we're going to be.
I'm all for supporting local companies.
Because if it goes to Douglas, I don't even know a person in Douglas, Georgia. And that money's going to go to somebody that owns it from South Alabama. So as far as I'm concerned, that's not
It's Woody Falls, that owns all those deals. Yeah, that's an old deal.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: if it's 90 days out, then may I call Jake with Brandon and get them from him, or y'all are all saying completely it's got to come from Powerhouse?
I won't stay home, but I'll say this about Unadilla. Unadilla also has a lot of Cordelians there, working there. So they're not, it's an extension kind of. So whatever they can do.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm saying.
I stick with my
Motion.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. All in favor of buying them local and buying the 4 Explorers and the firearms? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion approved, so we'll buy them local.
Just to confirm, we're going to buy them from the one on Powerhouse, correct? The new dealership, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
We do have a preferred bid for them, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, I gave him the opportunity to come in the office and see if we could get anywhere close to try to do that. I promise I did my due diligence, but like I said, at the end of the day, you know, we're still $4 grand out. Now, if the Dodge was giving us a problem, and I said, hey, we got to pay more money because it's that, I would certainly come to y'all and said that. I am completely good with it.
You got the check in your hand, so
Well, we're
it's a
good with
big
it.
difference.
We good with it.
Big difference. And,
I will
Mr.
call
Mayor,
Jamie as soon as we get out of here and tell him he better go find some cars from somewhere. We ain't waiting 3 months.
There you go.
Mr. Mayor,
You got twist arm.
I want to throw something out here. That what if he comes up and he can't get them anytime soon? I mean, do we need to make a variance, or you just need to come back and let us know at next meeting?
Just come back and let.
He'll know.
He'll know.
Our next meeting.
We don't have it on the agenda.
Okay.
But as long as he can get them, we can move forward. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Then we are good to go. Animal control. Deal with that real quick. I'm sorry for taking up all y'all's time. They participated in Community Craze Day. We observed Animal Control Appreciation Week. We had a little celebration for them come up there. We got to talk about the grant to repair the shelter. I'm still reviewing some of those documents, Mr. Wade. We probably need to just bring that before the commission on the next meeting. Because I just got, unless you got the documents. Okay. All right, I just got them emailed yesterday. So we got to review those. They participated in Autism Stroll with Touch a Truck. One thing I do want to talk about as far as animal control, I don't know if it's even in here, so. But we have 2 different opportunities, I guess. We've got an individual that's flying up here. I think I've reported this to y'all, from South Florida, and picking up these animals and flying them back and finding them permanent homes. They take the time on their own to come meet this gentleman on a Saturday or Sunday, whenever they can do it, and take their time off to get these animals adopted instead of putting them down. So, you know, hats off to Brandy and them. That's a tough job. You know, they get them in, they get them to help, and if they can't get them out of there, they end up having to put them down, and how depressing is that? So she's done a really, really good job to find as many homes as she can. So I certainly appreciate Brandy for her hard work in that. Any questions about animal control? All right, code compliance. We changed the way these reporting. I hope y'all can see the difference. Total caseload for the reporting period. He's got in here April 1st to April 28th is 271s. This is a work in progress. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I do like the way that it's now. Y'all can see the open cases. Y'all can see the closed cases on the number of cases that they're handling. Do we have more to do? 100%. So y'all see, I'm not going to sit here and read all these numbers out to y'all. Sure.
Can you have, on your total case load, can you have them put
Cases total and closed cases total instead of total cases?
Total each column?
Correct.
Yes, I can do that.
If he wants to put a total, he can add it up.
Yeah, we'll do a total at the end. Like I said, this is a new one I come up with because the last one the last couple that you guys were getting, I was like, you know, and I'm just going to be honest with the commission, with 4 code officers and the number that was being reported was just absurd. So I knew that it wasn't right. So I went in and made them pull the correct numbers and had a meeting with them. And, you know, one of the code officers, Ms. Denotes remarks, she's like, I do that myself. So this is why we've changed the way they're being reported to you guys, to get a more accurate reflection. Again, it's a work in progress. Says they condemned an unsafe boarding house on South Joe Wright, brought the owner to court, had the building closed, residents were relocated. They placarded an unsafe, blighted house in the West 27th Avenue. They assisted us because what was happening is it's kind of run down and they had a lot of trespassers going in there. Several of the residents called. So they placarded it, which then if you catch them in there afterwards, a criminal trespass charge. So that kind of helped the PD side of it out. Residential owner demolition was completed at 912 South 14th Street. And then West 13.5, they call it Landfill Alley, was dumped again. Code officers did locate responsible parties and items, issued a violation, and facilitated the cleanup. That's about all I have for those. Any questions about anything that I've covered?
Ian,
Sure.
Concerning codes, is there any way to get them to go by 11th and 16th, the store on the left, and have that owner clean up the parking
Yes,
lot?
that is on my notes, and
Wait a
they
minute,
work.
I'm not through.
Okay.
Then turn around and go out to 16th and hold those businesses accountable for their dirty areas, to include Walmart. You know, is there any way they can ride through there and go? I'm sure they'll be more than happy to be told they need to clean up their parking lots.
Can you repeat your location again? Because I know you said east of the interstate, right?
Well, at the interstate, you got Circle K, you got Walmart. I mean, any business out there, you just ride through there and look. It's a lot of them that are real business, and I know they're gonna say we can't get help, but hey, they got landscapers. They'll be happy to be paid to do it. But even on the other side, there's some areas over there that did get, but city manager corrected that one. A couple of stations over there. But over on the west side, there's a store right there on the left at 11th and 16th. Right there on the left where the new construction is going in.
Yes, sir.
It's a trash factory right down through there. You know what I'm talking about, Commissioner Shepherd?
11th and 16th?
Yes, ma'am, right there at the red light, the store that sits on the corner. Yeah, and we got those new businesses coming in. You know, they're gonna have to step it up a little bit, please.
Okay, anything else, Commissioner?
Yes, Mike.
When code officer's name was Jack Wood here, we had issues like with the parking lots, some of these facilities, and they had big holes, the people were falling in, they were calling the police department. So Jack went out and like one of them, I know they filled in these holes, they need to repair their parking lot, that's not our job. And while you're looking for the trash out there, tell them, try to keep their property. Cause we can't pay for them.
What's the, I think it's in your.
Here, Commissioner Finn, there's a housing development out there that's got potholes that you can get lost in.
West Town, yeah, I got West Town area.
Right.
The road need to be.
Oh, you talking on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can fall in there and they come out.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a city road though, right?
Right there, city road.
Yeah.
And those are the ones we were requesting to have, they paid like those ones got on the list, am I right, David? I know one like 27, one was 20, Cordele, I think I did 7 here. So we already targeted, that was prior to y'all coming out, we just had worked on it.
I rode by and saw it right beside the big ditch.
Yeah, we had targeted that before you all came on, and I don't know where we're standing now, I know they're on the list to be repaired, am I right, Mr. City Manager?
What the address or the locations?
27th Avenue, the 800 block of 27th, the 800 block of, at the latest complaint was a month ago, talking people out there, 27th, Cordele server in that area out there on the west side.
They went through it, filled in a bunch of that. I saw it, but they didn't go in there. They put a Band-Aid, they put lipstick on the pig.
On
It
20,
needs to be replaced.
on 27, there's the drainage, and you'll fall in it if you don't watch on
That's
it.
right.
And the 700 block.
That's right.
That road is sinking into a V like this, you have to sort of go up on somebody's yard almost on either side. So I mean, that road needs repaving, I don't know about the drainage system on that one, but I've been there as well, so.
Some of those potholes they can put crushing run in until we can get to them.
That's what they done.
Yeah.
It's like it washes out because it like comes down in the middle.
Yeah. It washes, but you're still not dropping your
Well,
tire.
that's city property.
Need to tighten up. Don't write us a ticket, okay?
We won't.
Okay, Norm, you got
Yeah,
it?
just still cold step it up, man. I've been having a lot of pushback, you know, a lot of properties need to be, you know, did maintenance on them. They need to step it up a little bit. Send them level out.
They sent quite a few letters out, but I know they
Okay,
can step it up.
Houses, brush, you can't see the house. They need to be torn down. There's several of them over in West Town area.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And well, do we have a code for like, that we have on that we need to follow more proper, and or probably go to my code to look. For like the tall bushes and trees,
Right.
roads, houses.
Yeah, they have to maintain this. I think here though it's 18 inches.
Yeah. So we need to start looking at those too.
It's bad, man.
And then we need to look at adopting the property maintenance code, I believe, as well for the new year. So that's something.
We've already done.
The new one?
We
Yeah.
No, we've got one we've had for a long time that addresses exactly what you said. It's to the code book.
Right, but I'm saying it's been updated. We need to get to the advanced one. Is that not correct?
No.
No, this is pretty advanced.
No, I'm saying new, like it was just done with ICC standards.
This is fine for what she needs to have done. You've
Okay.
got all you need to
Yeah,
have.
the address is 18 inches. Most everybody else is, 6 to 12 inches, but it says 18.
Okay. Is there anything else, Commissioners? Okay. Chief, I'd just like to say it looks like the total cost for services is down.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That helps with crime rate.
Absolutely. We're
Okay.
working on it. Helps with getting more people on the road,
That's right.
and that's been a success.
No.
Thank you.
Hold on. Dave, look at this. Have you mentioned that? Or planning on mentioning that? If not, I'd like to. If you'd like me to do it, you can read it if you want to. Can I?
Absolutely.
I wanna, if you can bear with me just a minute, I wanna read something that, I received. It comes from Mr. Stan Bowen, okay? And it's talking about the chief. It says, "Hello, Chief," and I'm gonna read it word for word here. It says, "Just a quick word. I appreciate the full effort and attention you've been giving toward your new position. It's been a breath of fresh air to the department to have a chief who leads by example. Your willingness to come to the Cordele after regular business hours and on Saturdays or Sundays is an indicator of your sincerity and commitment. The citizens of Cordele are benefiting from your leadership and presence. In past years, some of the chiefs who lived out of town did not make such an effort to come to the community events and incidents that took place outside of regular business hours. You're doing what counts in the present and long run, being there for the people. Thank you all that you are doing. Last, I'm glad that you are offering an opportunity to the officers to participate in the critical incident debriefing session. Your recognition for such a testament to your concern about the welfare of your officers. Respectfully, Dan Bowen." Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all's support.
Okay, we'll move on to Public Works.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to try to keep this brief. Cemetery and Parks Department, they have been continuing to work on getting the ditches and right-of-ways cleaned up. You see the list that I submitted from engineering about all the jobs and businesses that are currently coming in and where they're at in those processes. The street department, they've been also continuing to work on getting the alleys cleaned up and getting these roads taken care of with the water cuts and potholes that the water department has been having to make cuts in the road to get to all the water leaks. They've also addressed an issue of drainage along First Street in front of Mr. Doug Bird's residence, where they took up the curb and gutter, and they're working on putting the new down to where all that's left to do is the a little bit of concrete work around the catch basin, and then address the paving along that curb and gutter. And then that project will be completed. It should be done this week. And the water and sewer department, they have been, as you know, very busy taking care of water leaks and sewer stoppages. And they was able to complete the latest new installation for Quail Run. And that's all I have, unless you all have any questions at this time.
Okay, commissioners, y'all have questions?
Yeah, no. Hey, Scott, how's the sweeper maintenance company? Have they fixed it yet?
The sweeper is currently down.
I know it.
It has a lot of stuff that needs to be repaired on it. And the last time I spoke with the superintendent for the shop, he told me that everything has been ordered. He's just waiting on everything to come in. And once everything comes in, they'll be able to get it repaired and get all the adjustments made once the repairs have been done, and be able to get that thing back on the road.
You think we need another sweeper? Think we need two?
We actually have another sweeper across the street that, from what I understand, just needs to have a bunch of seals and a water pump ordered to get that sweeper back on the road.
Yeah, we need to try to get that fixed or get another one that'll help. They have two. Also.
Right.
How long has the sweeper been down this time?
It's been down going on 2 weeks now.
And what is that employee doing now?
That employee has been working with the street department out there making repairs on the roads. So he hasn't been sitting around. He's been repurposed temporarily to working with the crew.
And Scott,
Yes, sir.
2 months ago they fixed the leak on 17th Avenue West, and between 12th and 13th, and they haven't went back and fixed the road yet. And I've been having a lot of calls on that.
Can you give me that location again, please?
Between 12th and 13th on 17th Avenue.
Okay. I will get with the street department and find out where it's at on their list.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
How much is the new street sweeper cost? Estimate?
I think we
I can't safely.
The last one we bought was 300 plus thousand.
How much would it cost to fix it up?
I think you're talking probably less than 2,000. I'm just guessing.
I don't even know what we hit, stop talking about, man, we got $2,000, I know we broke, but we got $2,000, hell, I got $2,000. I'll own the city, but unless, we need to get that fixed. And I'm like,
Yeah. For the old sweeper or the new one?
Both.
The parts for the new sweeper have been ordered. They're just waiting on everything to come in.
Fix the old one too.
yeah,
I will get with the shop superintendent and I will instruct him to get the parts ordered for that piece of equipment as well.
How you doing on alleys? I mean, Mr. Mayor, I know this is a big thing. We gotta get them trash cans in the back. Okay, that was a priority with the former, managers, I mean, and everybody. The citizens want them in the back, okay? I see the arm tractor sometimes sitting in the shop a lot. I've seen him out working now. But I just can't see a reason why he can't get down some of those alleys and start cleaning them out. Or do we need to invest in bush axes and limb saws and stuff? We gotta get them, Mr. Scott, we got to get these alleys ready.
Yes, sir.
I mean, is there another piece of equipment we possibly could have some money coming up, right, Mr. Mayor?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Once our city attorney tells us something.
Yeah, once he tells us, we can jock it around. We could get you the skid steer and stuff, but I know you got a backup. and I know it has to go here, go there. But you have 3 backhoes down there, if I'm correct, or 2?
Actually, the water department has 2 backhoes, and one is currently down. The street department has 2 backhoes, and both of their backhoes are currently down, waiting on cylinders to be rebuilt. They've been sent out, they're just waiting on them to be done so they can get them back and get the tractors back in operation.
Okay. So they've been sent off?
Yes, sir.
For repairs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We verified, time on that. Let's try to put some pressure on them or something.
Yes, sir. I will get with the shop superintendent when I get back to Public Works.
I'm getting a lot of flack, and I know the other commissioners are, about these trash cans off the streets. Okay, I've told everybody it'll probably be July.
Okay.
I'm hoping we can, that should have been long enough. But I see with your actions, we can start.
Yes, sir.
A lot better.
If we have a major piece of equipment that goes down, like, your backhoes, if they go down, and that's something that we use quite a lot.
Yes, sir, just about every day.
Yeah, and we have it go down, and it's gonna be 2 to 6 weeks before it's fixed, or can be fixed because you gotta wait on parts, and I understand that's just part of the process. Then we need to be leasing something from a rental company and bring it on in and get, you can't, all that happens is you just start backing up work, and, I mean, it costs to run a city, I get that.
If I understand you correctly, right now, we have both street sweepers down, 2 backhoes down.
That's what I heard, Mr.
We've got 3 backhoes down.
3
We've got 1 backhoe in operation.
First off, I check to make sure that they operate correctly and they tear them up. That'd be one thing. Because 3 of them going down, something ain't going right. And then if I needed to lease a piece of equipment for a couple of weeks to get me by, then so be it. I mean, that's just part of doing business, and you gotta look at the city like business. We got things we gotta do.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager, would we be better off leasing this equipment instead of purchasing it?
We have talked in depth about leasing vehicles and equipment as a way to save on our maintenance costs. I believe the savings we'd see in maintenance would offset any interest we had in the lease program. In the end of 5 or 6 years, whatever the terms of the lease are, you have a small residual payment, which is usually $1, and the vehicle's yours, or you can turn it back in and start the lease over. We have so much equipment out there, so many capital items have been put on the back burner during budget time, and we're sitting there having budget talks right now, and go through that as well, trying to defer something out another year, but you can only do so much with so little, and eventually it's gonna catch up with us. And we're at that point right now where we're gonna have to take on some huge expense to get equipment in here that's operable, so we can have day-to-day operations, because what we're using right now has Band-Aids all over it. But a lease agreement, in my opinion, is a feasible way to go. We'd have a set payment every year, every month. We would know what that's gonna be. It has new equipment in here, and the offset in our maintenance will be substantial.
Now, if I understand it correctly, if you lease them, they'll fix it if it tears up.
You replace the wearables, the brake pads, the windshield wipers, change the oil, tires. Anything other than that, you got a combination of the factory warranty and their service department, and plus you have priority as well if you're a lease customer. And this includes fleet vehicles, includes heavy duty vehicles, and even equipment. You are a priority. So when that breaks down, we go to the front of the line.
Is there a way
George gets bumped to the back on his oil change, and City of Cordele goes to the front to get their equipment.
I've had that happen.
I figured that.
Yeah. Is there a way that we could look at that and then bring it to the budget, and bring it to the table? Because we are getting farther behind every day, and we got a new. We don't want to run him off.
No, I agree. But we've talked about street sweeper, $340,000 for a street sweeper. We've talked about possible motor grader for doing these alleyways. Don't think that's going to be the way to go. Looking at the skid steer with the various attachments. Those attachments are about $25,000 a piece, not including the base price of your skid steer. So we are looking at other options that are out there, and there are lease arrangements where we can combine the F550 crew trucks that he's needing, because the ones we have right now are eat up in miles, and not only miles, but hours as well, so they're idling. Lots of times we look at these sheets and they show mileage on a vehicle, but we're not taking into consideration how many hours they sit there and idle. So an hour of idling is about 20 miles on a vehicle. So we've got a lot of need there, but there is the option where we can lease the heavy duty trucks if we need to pull the equipment, so we're not putting the strain on an F-250 to pull a small low boy with a backhoe on it or a trenching machine. We can go up to the F-550, which is designed to do that. Cost is not that much more. And then we can lease that truck along with the equipment and the trailer that we need in a package deal.
Well, I'm gonna say this, that we're supporting the law enforcement, other than Station 3 not being put on 90 right now. We're doing pretty good with the fire department. We're keeping their head above water pretty good. This is where we're weak at, I think, and I think with him and the employees we have, we should be able to move forward if we look at that.
Yeah.
Let's get away from that buying.
And we got UCTs on this stuff, so we got plenty of expenses going on.
We spent 6 hours on the public works department budget alone.
Right.
Trying to weed through and find out what our priorities were, the needs here, what can last another year, and what is just a deadline, and we have no other option. We've looked at some resources out there through Gov Deals where they will come in. They have a local retailer, if you want to call it that. He has contacts out there to get better prices for the equipment than we can, using the same platform. He just has those contacts out there. So we're looking at using that to try to get a little bit more for our salvage vehicles. Or service vehicles, excuse me.
These trucks that are idling, are they 2011 or newer?
Now, what you mean by?
Year model trucks, are they 2011? Are they running DEF, the DEF?
We've got some that are, some that aren't.
Some that are, some that aren't.
We've got quite a few older vehicles in the fleet. Scott, do you know
Both of the crew trucks in the water department were gas motors, so they didn't have the DEF in them.
Okay.
And the one that the shop deadline over a year ago, it needs a transmission for sure. And because of the idle hours that was on that motor, they said that it was not worth the money to put back in that truck, because the truck wasn't even worth the $9,000 for the transmission. So they deadlined it.
Hours he's talking about equation about 500,000 miles on the truck. Between actual mileage and idle hours.
Because the guys will leave the truck running to support the battery while they have the emergency strobe lights on while they're out doing the work. To save the cost of constantly replacing batteries.
Is there a way that we could rewire that to use a small generator to run those, to stop the idle?
I'm sure there is.
I've seen that done with some trucks on the board. They're getting away from idling that truck and going to.
Well, I know that going with the diesel trucks, it's going to help eliminate a lot of that problem, because the diesel's not going to use near as much fuel either when it sits there and idles versus the gas motor.
Police department has the same issue with their cars as well, because of the camera equipment. If they shut it off, and by the time the camera system reboots, or they get the car started up and the camera system reboots, they're already on the scene, so they don't have supporting in-car camera footage. And plus, if you cut it off, then it overheats, just like your cell phone sitting out in the sun. The camera and all the electronics overheat. So we have a lot of idle hours on most all of our equipment. Getting back to the lease agreement, if I'm not mistaken, Chris County Power has just entered into a lease arrangement with some of their heavier equipment.
That'd be a good to use. Follow up.
If it's a diesel truck and it's running urea, that DEF, don't leave it idle. Cut it off, because that system's just designed. This is from personal experience. It's designed to blow. It's designed to be cranked up and running. If it idles, it builds internal combustion, and it clogs up that filter system, and the motor will blow. I've been down that road. So if it's a DEF, don't leave it out. Or either, they've lifted these regulations. You could delete it. It'd be way cheaper than the $7,000 exhaust pipe. You could delete it for $3,500.
That'd be good.
Delete it for $3,500, and then it don't know. So since federal government's lifted some of the regulations, you might want to do it while it's good.
Right. I do know that right now the heavy duty trucks, to replace both of those crew trucks in the water department, the one person that I reached out to get quotes on, they told me it was 4 to 6 month lead time before the trucks would even be available to be delivered.
They're about 120 apiece.
Okay. Okay, commissioners have anything further? Okay, thank you, Scott, appreciate your hard work. Okay, social media and marketing?
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, good morning. I'll be brief. You have my report in your packet. We'd just like to say that following our successful Georgia Cities Week, the city of Cordele was invited by GMA to showcase how we celebrated our residents and our municipal services. After they reviewed our submissions, they requested a featured quote from our interim city manager, which he graciously provided. And so we're eagerly anticipating the upcoming Georgia Cities Week wrap-up to prominently feature the city of Cordele. Thank you, commissioners, for allowing us to participate in Georgia Cities Week, how you folks participated, and how you allowed us to participate with the community and our employees. And with that, that is my report, unless you have any questions.
Any questions, Commissioners?
No, I have a comment, sir, if I may.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Thank you for covering all the events in Fort Hill. Bigger, and everybody, and the commissioner appreciate you. And I say thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Pro Tem.
We all appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. UCNT?
Good morning.
Good morning.
You all have our copy of our report. We treated 53,506,400 gallons of water, and we treated 53,080,000 gallons of wastewater. That's pretty average for what we do. The total rainfall was 1.43 inches for the month of April, which is nothing. And EPD, as you all know, has declared a level 1 drought for the entire state, essentially meaning we just need to practice water conservation a little bit better throughout the entire state. We've reached out to Bill Powell with Georgia Rural Water about conducting the water rate study that's free for us. We're waiting his response. But other than that, that's all we got.
Okay, Commissioners, y'all have any questions from UCNT?
I'm just curious. Okay. How many gallons, how would you know how many gallons you're using coming through y'all's plant, or some, how could we tell some just being dumped, not being used, other than the leaks now? I mean, that's
We really tell like a difference in the treatment process. You know, diluted water looks a lot different than strong wastewater, so that's how we kind of determine if there's water coming in through open manholes or leaks or whatever like that. But as far as this looked through the last month, it looks like we treated what we bought.
So you have manholes open sometimes?
We shouldn't, but you know, things happen.
But
What I'm getting at, also, what about the gutters and the drains? Do you have any leakage into it to cause it?
There's definitely some out there. We refer to that as infiltration, and it's definitely out there big time.
How would we locate that?
You can call people, a company in, they do like locates all over the city, and they do studies. And I know we did it a few years ago. They come in.
That's your ARPA project.
Is that the ARPA project?
That's the ARPA project.
Okay.
Smoke in there and see what you smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your ARPA project going on right now.
That's the one going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's helped, but you'll never get rid of all the iodine.
Yeah.
Never. So you can do smoke testing for like gutters and drains and things that are tied into the sewer. It's, a lot of people don't like it because it's scary, but, you know, if smoke comes up where it doesn't belong, then you got a problem.
I think the health coming up, so.
You get some calls.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
IT?
Good morning, Honorable Commission. I have nothing to add to the report, and we have. I do have a couple of updates and a couple of things just to highlight. We did complete the animal control network refresh, where we were able to get them a more reliable internet service and get them an updated computer. They're using Starlink now, and everything's going well for them. And on the day that we installed it and got it set up, there was actually a citizen there considering adopting a pet, and they wanted to FaceTime. I think they were buying it for their mother, and they were curious, do we have a Wi-Fi network? And it was neat to see an experience where it's not just impacting the workflow and efficiency for animal control, but for the citizens to come out there and actually be able to use their devices. And that was a nice unforeseen example of how it's helping out there. So that's going well. And the police department on here, I have that I work with Captain Vile and Chief Hicks in picking the new laptops that'll go on our mobile units. And we got a really good deal on those. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little more than a month. And I found out yesterday that those are shipping early, and they'll actually be here tomorrow. So that's good news. So we'll be able to get moving forward on that project. And we are, to update y'all, the last commission meeting, we made a decision on the repair of cameras in the city. And we are 2 weeks from starting that project. So that's where we're all at. That's about it.
Okay. Commissioners, y'all have any questions for IT? Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, we go into our agenda items. Agenda item number 1, proclamation, 57th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May the 3rd through the 9th, 2026. You want to handle that, Ms. Mayor Pro Tem?
Proclamation. 57th Annual Professional Municipal Clerk Week, May 3rd through 9th, 2026. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of the local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of professional municipal clerk provides professional link between the citizen, the local governing bodies, and the agencies of government and other levels. And whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be mindful of their neutrality, impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas the professional municipal clerks serve as the information center on functions of local government and community. And whereas professional municipal clerks continue to strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of professional municipal clerk through participation in educational programs, seminars, workshops, annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishment of this office of professional municipal clerk. Now, therefore, the City of Cordele Commission would like to take and extend our appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Genevieve Janice Mumfrey, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary duty and dedication to our community that they represent. This 5th day of May 2026, this is signed by your Board of Commission, J. Wesley Rainey, your Mayor, Bernard Finn, Ward 2, Commissioner George Singletary, Ward 3, Commissioner JoJo Wright, Commissioner at Large. And I'm yours truly, Mayor Pro Tem, Augusta Bill Shepherd. Congratulations, and I love you.
Thank you, Ms. Dennis. We appreciate all that you do. Okay, agenda item number 2, consider and approve a resolution adopting policies and procedures governing hearings, repealing all resolutions in conflict herewithin and for other purposes.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. This is a procedure
that details how city commission, city councils, and planning commission would handle a hearing on zoning matter. And the purpose is to give the public equal time, both sides of it. It's required by the Zoning Procedures Act. So you're supposed to have this Exhibit A available for the public to see when they come in for the hearing. And it also details the criteria that the council uses to decide whether to have a zoning change or not. It essentially says that each side gets a minimum of 10 minutes, and but if you have, of course, more than that, and often you do, then you got to go back and give the one side an equal time. So the whole idea is for you as presiding officer or whoever's presiding, with you as the planning commission, to give everybody an equal and fair chance. And that kind of, we have already had this discussion today, and y'all actually did something else other than what it says, but the comment from zoning matters should be in the context of a hearing. The public has two chances to do that, one of them before the planning commission, and then one of them before you. And then after that, you make a decision about the appropriate land use for the land in question.
Can you put it on, after reading this, we put it on the next meeting
Well,
following
it's a
the-
resolution, you can adopt it right now.
Yes, and we
Yeah,
could.
Yeah, but, and we don't have a lot of hearings. We've needed this for some time, but as the mayor knows, there hasn't been a very good environment to make significant policy changes until now. And so I would suggest that you do it. I don't know of another zoning matter that's in the pipeline for this, but we ought to have it in place for a zoning hearing. I've been on the opposite sides of a lawsuit that where a city didn't have this. It became an issue where this lawyer from Atlanta representing the plaintiff did in fact, well, the city doesn't have a procedure for conducting the hearing. It wasn't a major issue in the case, but it was an issue that had to be addressed. The city was deficient in that matter.
Is this, Mr. Mayor,
Okay, go ahead.
with this rewriting the zoning and all that,
It's
this
a
would be
separate
on top
part.
of that?
Yeah, this is not, it's not
Separate.
part of the zoning ordinance. This is a
Okay.
resolution required. by
What to
zoning
do
procedures.
during?
During a hearing.
Okay.
This has to do with the conduct of the hearing, that's all.
Okay.
Given equal time. Kind of like we used to have equal time on candidates on television, we don't have anymore. But that's what, it just provides equal time to both sides of a zoning question if it's a controversy. Most of the time, as you all know, there's not much to these. You have the hearing and nobody's there. But every now and then you have one where there's there's a debate between the public on how it should go.
And it gives the public an opportunity at the planning and here at the city
Well,
commission.
we already do that.
Right.
Yeah, we
But it
already
gives-
noticed
and it
that.
gives them an
Yeah.
opportunity to speak
Yeah,
here.
when you have a zoning, you got to notice the hearing both before the planning commission and here 15 days before the hearing. And then you conduct the hearing, and not until the hearing and the recommendation for the planning commission is done can the city council act. That doesn't address this. All it does is how people, when people come, and how you address them, and how much time you give them, and how you have to space your time out so that if there's a demand for it, not always is, often it's not, most of the time it's not, that you give people an equal chance to address the council about their concern about a zoning issue, that's all.
Okay. We got a topographical error now.
Yes, you do. I'm sorry. I do that every now and then. I put O'Clockney in the resolution.
The copy you got in here.
Oh, well, the copy, what you're actually adopting is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the correction.
My resolution number 2026-1206, that's what we're referring at this time.
That's what, yes, ma'am, you can adopt that.
I got a bullet for you. Go to number 4. Bullet number 4, whereas the zoning ordinance protects the health, safety, and welfare of the
Yeah,
citizens.
unlock me.
Or Lakshmi, and not
Oh,
Cordele?
Yeah, we change it the name.
He just did that, that was my fault, that's the last person that did it before you, I suppose.
Well, anyway, you
Sorry.
know, we need to have the right citizen.
I just changed that.
Okay. Okay, man.
That won't be the last time that happens.
I know, but I mean, I just called it, I think, before I can find out, and I have to make sure I'm signing the right thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
the 9 standards here that are outlined here at the bottom, are these,
That's in your zoning ordinance.
so these are set in the zoning ordinance?
Yes, sir.
Because it appears that some of them are more geared toward planning than
They are.
zoning.
Yeah.
The zoning fields.
Well, that is planning, is usually it's referred to as planning and zoning, so that's part of the plan. Proposed zoning relative to public, and that's in the zoning ordinance.
And if we combine both, the planning commission and the board of zoning together, it's still.
Yeah, sure,
Still.
not everything, yeah. When the planning commission has a hearing, they should do this as well.
Okay.
All it is providing a fairness between the competing interests, or if you will, if there happens to be a controversial zoning matter, which about once every other year you'll have one like that.
Okay.
Like we got now. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I move we accept the attorney's recommendation.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve the resolution.
That's second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to adopt the resolution adopting policies and procedures governing hearings, repealing all resolutions in conflict herewith. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, agenda item number 3, consider and approve event permit, mental health awareness walk, May the 13th. It's from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. The requester is Miss Monica Robinson, Chris County Community Council. There will be a walk from City Hall to Chris Regional Hospital.
So move.
Discussion. I noticed on these documents, has the chief signed all these documents?
Yes, he has.
He has? Okay, all right.
I second.
I like to amend that with you, that we just go ahead and approve 2 through 5, you know, all the events. Let's go ahead and approve them instead of going through each one. The chief's already approved them, he didn't sign it.
Well, we got a motion and a
Okay.
second. I'm gonna
Oh,
carry
you
that.
got a second?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got a motion from Miss Mayor Pro Tem.
I didn't hear the second.
And
Okay.
Bill Goat, Commissioner.
Okay.
Right.
You can copy that.
Okay. All right, we got a motion and a second to approve agenda item number 3. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, agenda item number 4, consider and approve an event permit, family event, location, Cordele Historic Museum. The organizer is gonna be, Cordele, downtown Cordele. It's gonna be May the 14th from 5:30 until 7 p.m. Is there a motion to approve this event?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Agenda item number 5, consider and approve event permit, family event, T-Track and the Tracks Model Train Exhibit. It's gonna be May the 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Cordele Rail Museum. The organizer is downtown Cordele. Is there a motion to approve this event?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. All right. Agenda item number 6, consider and approve an event permit. It's a photo contest. It's gonna be on June the 4th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The location is the Galleria 41. The organizer is gonna be downtown Cordele. Is there a motion to approve this event?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay. Agenda item number 7 is consider and approve professional service agreements from TTL Incorporated. The background, this proposal is for the 2026 watershed monitoring, bioassessments, and annual report. It's for long-term watershed monitoring activities for the city of Cordele. the project requirements. It's based on our review for, it's the Watershed Program Plan, Gum Creek, Water Pollutants and Control Service Area.
So moved.
Is there a motion? Got a
Second.
motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Agenda item number 8, consider and approve award recommendation for the 24-25 LMIG paving project for Cordele. The award recommendation is to Griffin Grading and Concrete LLC. The low bid is in the amount of $726,414.85.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Agenda item number 9, discussion of the Greer Street rezoning project, rezoning from R12 to R4, 120 apartment unit. Planning Commission approved this on March the 19th with conditions, and there's already been a motion to table this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's been tabled. All right, city manager's report.
Good morning, everyone.
As you've seen all morning, we've had Naisha Pickens on our overhead. So first and foremost, we're keeping her and the family in thoughts and prayers. If anyone has any information out there, we encourage you to use the CSend app. Call the tip line at 1-800-597-8477. Cordele Police Department at 276-2921, or any of our surrounding law enforcement agencies. Once again, our Pet of the Week was adopted before it hit the press. So if anyone out there is looking for a new addition to their family, we encourage you to visit our website at www.cordelega.gov, the animal shelter, or you may contact them at, Dennis, I failed to write the number down here. Cordele Police Department number 229-276-2921, and they will put you in contact with the animal shelter. We wrapped up Georgia Cities Week, as Mr. Smar said earlier. That was during the time of April the 20th through the 24th. Some of our activities were a coloring contest, a get-to-know-your commissioner questionnaire, facility tours, our service awards luncheon, employee appreciation lunch, and a touch a truck event at the Perry Busby walking track in conjunction with Autism Stroll. Got a few pictures here for you of that. This is our luncheon there at the Main Street office. Some of our guys from Public Works at the Touch Truck event had kids crawling all over the equipment, blowing the horns, and cooking hot dogs for the people who were attending. I think Public Works wound up cooking 80 hot dogs, and when it was all said and done, there was one wrapped up. There was one left over that was wrapped up, and I'm not sure who got the last one. I also had members of our Cordele Police Department there and the Cordele Fire Department. I certainly don't want to call anyone's names because I'll forget someone, but I just want to say I appreciate members of the City of Cordele coming out, the presence we had there. It was a great turnout, and this was on a Saturday too, so they took time out of their personal schedules to be there with us to help promote the event in the City of Cordele. So thank you all to everyone that showed up to the Touch Truck event and Autism Stroll. As you approved just a few minutes ago, the T-Track at the Cordele Braille Museum will be on Saturday, May the 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Anyone has any questions may contact gsfsrns@gmail.com. Voting is almost upon us. We're about 2 weeks out from the May 19th primary. Encourage you to go to the new location here downtown at 110 West 13th Avenue, and that's going to be Suite A. And if you have any questions, you can contact Becky Kitchens there at that office. Her number is 276-2611. The last day of advance voting is May the 15th. Saturday voting, we've already had one round of that. The next session is May the 9th. And then the last day to cast a ballot by mail is May the 8th. And then, of course, we have the November the 3rd general election.
and then potential runoffs in December. This is the camera slices competition. This is an amateur photograph contest that's being hosted by Gallery 41. Some of the categories are landscape, animals, local architecture, sunrise, sunset. You may submit your entries by May the 22nd at Gallery 41 or downtown Cordele at 105 East 9th Avenue. And the awards and reception will be held on June the 4th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. All right, we got Mother and Son Dance coming up. This is a King's First Queen Mother and Son Dance on Friday, May the 29th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Cordele Lions Club Fairground. Tickets are $25 each. A photographer will be on site, and you can purchase tickets at Judy's Small World at 1143 East 8th Avenue, or for more information, call 229-271-1054. Occupational alcohol license are due. Had a conversation this week with the municipal court, and they will start scheduling citations to attend court for violation of the alcohol or both. The business license and the alcohol license renewals. Those will be coming up in, Nancy, remind me of the date. Okay. So if you've not paid your business license, or if you're operating without an alcohol license, we highly encourage you to come take care of that, or else citations will be issued by our Codes Enforcement Division and the Police Department. June the 23rd. All right, some of our upcoming meetings and events. The Agri-Industrial Development Committee meeting, which was scheduled for May the 6th at 11 a.m., has been rescheduled. That's actually going to be May the 21st. Community Clubhouse Coordination Board meeting is Monday, May the 11th, here in the courtroom at 10 a.m. The Chris Ministerial Alliance meeting is Thursday, May the 14th at the Community Clubhouse at 9:30 a.m. An event we're all looking forward to is the evening at the museum. That's Thursday, May the 14th, 2026. We've had a lot of people around here gathering historical photos and documents put on display, so we're encouraging everyone to come out to the Main Street office on the 14th at 5:30 and look at some of the history of Cordele. The River Valley Regional Commission Legislative Luncheon will be held Wednesday, May the 20th. That's at the South Georgia Technical College campus in Americus at 10:30 a.m. So if anyone would like to attend, the commissioners, let me know. Get you registered, and we can all ride together over there. All right, Historic Preservation Committee meeting is Wednesday, May the 20th, 2026, here in the courtroom at 6 p.m. The Planning Commission meeting is Thursday, May the 21st, here in the courtroom at 10 a.m. And then Board of Zoning Appeals is the following week, Thursday, May the 28th, 2026, here in the courtroom at 10 a.m. Some of the action items request your approval on. One is summer youth employees. I'd like to request your approval to hire 3 part-time summer youth employees starting in June, and this will be to assist our community development department with sorting our archive room, cataloging those files, and even taking some of them and getting rid of them per records retention schedule. I don't know if you've been in there and had a look at that archive room, but it's nearly impossible to go in there and find anything. To cover this, we're going to move money from the technical services budget for the remainder of this fiscal year, and then for the FY27, the regular salary budget will be adjusted accordingly. So, requesting your approval to move forward with hiring 3 part-time summer youth employees. The next item, work session. We've kicked it around in here about having a work session with River Valley Regional Commission. This is to discuss the process of the city's zoning ordinance rewrite, the BZA, and our potential BZA and Planning Commission mergers, update of sign ordinance, public hearing procedures, and noticing, and some other issues. So we'd like to get your approval to hold a work session with you guys and see if we can't come up with a mutually agreeable date. City Hall curb painting. At the last meeting, we had a discussion about painting the halls, the curb here at City Hall, but there never was a general consensus of how you want it done. So just requesting if I can get an idea of what your vision may be of how you want it to look before we invest a lot of time and paint out here redoing these curbs. It's not what you want. So if I could get kind of a consensus of the commission as to what you're looking for, we can move forward with painting this out here. And then the last item there was the SPLOST expenditure, which you have already approved $200,000 for the purchase of the 3 vehicles and the firearms in the police department. So just want to say thank you for doing that. Lastly, on my report that I submit, my update report, the meetings we were supposed to that William and I were supposed to have with the banks last week, he had a last minute schedule upset. So we have started yesterday. We met with 2 banks, meeting with another today. Budget meetings are still ongoing. Still working on those. Tyler Technologies contract will be here ready for signature on June the 2nd. And I believe that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Okay, commissioners, y'all have any questions?
You asking for, Mayor, you asking for the approvals on the summer youth employees now and the work session and to come to consensus on the curb, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I moved that summer youth employees be approved.
Okay, so we got a motion to approve the 3 employees for the summer starting on June 1st. Is there a second? Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved to hire those. Okay.
We'll go to the second one, work session.
Work session, yes, sir.
Okay, I approve your recommendation, whatever you need to do to get it done.
Okay, we got a motion to approve a work session requesting the approval to schedule with River Valley Commission to discuss the process of city's ordinance rewrites.
So moved.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go with the city curb. I think the fire chief came up with the best one. That there is just leaving it red and right directly in front of the door, and then painting the rest abstract pink, I don't know, whatever, yellow, whatever.
That right in front of the door white, the rest of it red, what I think. You don't want it where they can, what you're trying to do is get it where people can pull back up that are having a hard time walking. They can pull right up there, spot for about 3 spots. Of course, you don't want them being able to park where Chief said, cross and blocking it, you can't do that, and you don't want to go where you first turn in at, because that's an obstruction. But right there, that little area, I guess it's probably 50 feet across there. I would say that needs to be just painted back white so that people can pull up in there and get out and go in there.
And at one time, there was some discussion about closing in the fountain area and using that parking area, especially for the handicapped people. Maybe we identify the handicapped park temporary or 15 minutes or whatever you want. You know, somewhere down the line, we're gonna try to close that in, but we're not using that fountain. And replacing that glass.
And I would make that area up front there, put a sign up there, 15 minutes. Now,
Yeah.
You can't just pull up there and park and
Go visit.
come in and hit. No,
Okay.
you come
That's
to that.
what-
So what I'm hearing is the area right out here directly in front of I'd say the glass in area. of the
Right.
City Hall.
Around that, leave that back there where it is.
Leave this, repaint this out front as 15-minute parking or post it accordingly. Everything else around will remain the fire lane.
Right. And across from that, it's red and that little
At the
island.
island.
Leave
Remain
it red
fine.
because they'll need
Okay.
to park over there and block
Okay.
where people can't get in.
That's what I was needing to know, because we had about 3 different opinions here, and we walked out of the room that day. There was really no clear direction of what you guys wanted, so I just want to make sure before we invested a lot of time and money in that
How long,
we had
how
an
long
idea.
before the window gets open?
The window,
The drive
one of the biggest holdups we're having on that right now is the hardware that that goes to QS1, the current software. I don't see a need to purchase hardware for something that in July is going to be obsolete. We're gonna pull it out. Tyler Technologies coming in, so hopefully by midsummer, we can have the drive-through up and
You
running.
said they were coming in June, right?
June or July. We're hoping to have it implemented by July.
What about the glass?
The glass is it's been replaced and it's still just wavy as it was the first time. I don't know if you've been down there and taken a look at it, but it'll give you a headache after just a couple of minutes of standing there. It's so wavy.
And who you know can close in that area where I was talking about where the fountain was? Now, can our staff do it and remove that glass and put it?
The glass would be the issue. Our staff could probably remove the concrete re-pour, but we have to go in there and we have to wall up that glass because the way it goes almost all the way to the ground.
Should I block it in or?
We would have to just have a look at it to see what would be the best way.
So that's what I was going to make a comment on that. I mean, I think we could do this in the short term, like suggested, leave it red, and then implement the 15-minute parking out front. But there's been some money, a large amount of money from this SPLOST implemented to the improvement of City Hall. And I think some money ought to be spent to engineer that to meet ADA and OSHA compliances right there in the front to make that aesthetically pleasing and compliant with ADA and OSHA codes.
I like that word.
I don't. Yes, because if we're going to put parking right there, your handicap access is still around the corner.
Right there. You'd have to have a ramp. You'd have to put a ramp. When we start dealing with declaring somewhere handicap parking, then you got to make it accessible. So that includes your ramp, your curb cuts, and everything else.
And that's where our space is. So that, I don't know. The front right there just needs
a
modern, revitalized look.
Chief, you got anything you want to add? I was going to say, it's currently ADA compliant.
That's right.
It just says that the closest parking space is designated handicap. And it is.
Right, and it is.
But it is still far away.
Mm-hmm. But if we're reworking that, I mean, we need to look at that.
Absolutely.
Well, and I mean, like Lanier or somebody that we use, our engineers, might could look at that for us and make some suggestions to us. Especially get rid of that glass that's got all that lime and calcium on it.
We've tried everything in the world to take that off, and it won't cut it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Commissioner, is there anything else for our city manager? Okay, thank you.
I do have one item before I leave the podium. Received an email this morning. Congressman Mike Collins will be here in Cordele this afternoon at 3 o'clock at the train depot as part of his U.S. Senate campaign. So you're encouraged to come out and meet and greet with Congressman Mike Collins.
Okay. Oh, David, I'm sorry. I set this paper to the side and I had it turned upside down. On the occupation business licenses, do we need to have a rough number of how many businesses are not in compliance?
Not yet.
We're working on that? Okay.
I had a comment from a business owner. And about the license, and they came in to talk to someone, this was not recently, but anyway, so the young lady told him that it would be mailed to him, he never received it in mail, he went to another city to apply for a license, because he had to have his Cordele license, and stated, he had to come back and take care of it, he said, so, do we send it, it wasn't this girl now, it was prior to this, but he said he never did get it, so he had to come in and redo everything, so how does this work?
I don't doubt that sometimes people don't get it because of the way the mail runs. They are typically mailed out, and we have heard that before that people have not received it. But anyone operating a business in Cordele right now, they know the deadline to purchase their license, and those who are serious about getting it, if they've not received their invoice in the mail, they're usually the ones calling us requesting it.
But if you said you want to mail to me, I don't know you want to mail it, then I just it's on my mind as well. I'm just curious.
I agree. And if somebody said they were going to mail it to them, I have no doubt that they didn't mail it to them. But we know how things get lost in the mail as well.
Thank you.
That's right. I don't have anything.
Okay. You don't have anything?
Let's stay with that's not to go into executive session.
Okay, so nothing from the city attorney. Any need for executive session? Okay.
everybody's ready to go.
Okay. If we don't have any need for an executive session, is there a motion to adjourn?
Don't move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned.